This year they lost on the road at Kenyon, a very low-scoring game. In fact, all their points came in the first half. It was a final of 13-6 in that contest. Then they go to Albion. They lose to Albion, and a lot of people lose at Albion, 56-21. The Beavers trailed that one 28-0 at halftime. Bluffton was only 5 of 13 on third down in that loss. And then they come back. They play a good trying team. They lost that one 52-30. Third down was another tough issue. Third down conversion, they were only 27%, 3 of 11 in that one. And then they beat Anderson, as you mentioned a little bit ago, 415 yards of total offense in that contest. Beavers had 117 yards rushing. So they won the important of the first 4 games, and that was the conference matchup, so they feel very good coming into this one today.
Chance to go 2-0 in conference play, and this conference looking wide open right now. If you can start out 2-0 in conference play, you're going to be right there in the running for this conference title in the HCAC, the way this is going so far.
Beavers averaging at 21 points per game, but they're giving up 32.5. In the rushing department, 134.5 yards per contest. They do throw it pretty well at 221. We do expect, when you look at the numbers in these two teams, though, that we're probably going to see a lot of offense today, you would think, especially when you think about Bluffton. They are averaging at 356 yards, but giving up 371.
That's going to be the Achilles heel of the defense on both these teams. We're going to see how that could play out. As you said, that could lead to a lot of offense and a lot of points here in this game between Bluffton and Manchester today.
All right, let's talk about the impact players here for the Bluffton Beavers. You had mentioned a couple of their players already, but let's talk about their quarterback, Evan Unruh. Unruh, by the way, one of the notable players a week ago because he threw for 298 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he has actually played very well this year for Bluffton.
He's been very well, and he's got a trio of wide receivers he can throw to, too. Nigel Payne has been a good receiver this year, as well as Ethan Behringer. Probably going to see a lot of those two on the receiving end today for Unruh. Anxious to see if they put Brasley in at quarterback. He's been getting a little bit of quarterback play as well, but I'm very anxious to see those 3 wide receiver tandem. You're going to see a lot in the passing game, I think, here today for Bluffton.
Yeah, running the football, Stoner at only 3.8 yards per carry, but if you look at Kobe Coffey, he's at 6.3. So if they're going to run the football today, and they always talk about having a balanced attack, they've got to be able to run. You
got to put the run in with that man, and the way Manchester defense has struggled a little bit against that run this year as well. So I do expect them to get a little bit of that running game, try to get it established as well. All
right, when we come back, we'll talk about the Spartans of Manchester coming up next right here on HCAC TV.
The flow of the program, the opportunities of getting really hands-on is crucial for this profession.
We don't have classes during our clinicals, so we can be full-time at our clinicals, which is unique to Manchester.
And you have more say on where you go your second year based on your interests. I feel like I'm ready as I could possibly be to start my career with professional baseball. So that's where I'll be headed after graduation. Come to Manchester. It's a great program, it really is.
At Manchester University, we're excited to be offering a unique pathway to become a registered dietitian. We are one of the only nutrigenomics programs in the United States, looking at how a person's genes are affected by the nutrition. This allows us to be much more precise and personalize our recommendations for our patients in the future. Our program is a traditional 2-year graduate program, and this program does include your coursework, which is all online, and also your supervised experiential learning done in your home.
Back once again here at Manchester University. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff time here this afternoon. Spartans, a football team that's still trying to find their way. They opened up the year on the road at Westminster. They had only 66 yards rushing in that contest. They lost that one 23-3. They were about ready to pull off an upset on the road at Concordia of Chicago. They ended up losing that one by a final of 28-27. They were down going into that fourth quarter. You had the Kalamazoo game. I'm sure you'll talk more about that. They lost that one 55-0. They only had 42 rushing yards, and then they went to Defiance and lost that one 35-3. What do you see in this team?
Well, Manchester, I mean, like I said, it's been a struggle offensively. There's no question about it. They're going to have to find a way somehow to get that offense going. I do look for Wadlington, their running back. He's been getting a lot of key moments. He's been looking a lot better here. See if they go with him at the running back position. Andrew Romero has shown signs at times. He's got some receivers in that Duriel Moss that he can find, but I do expect maybe we're going to see Wadlington in the running game. Maybe that's where Manchester turns to try to get this offense turned around.
What would really concern me for a Manchester football fan is their inability, though, to convert on third down. I mean, their numbers through those first 4 games are not good.
No, third down conversions has been a problem for Manchester this year, and penalties have not helped. They're putting themselves in third and deep situations, so that's going to have to change as well. I mean, yeah, we're just going to have to see how they play this out offensively. I would like to see a run-pass mixture today. Maybe he can get that run-pass mixture going and maybe get that offense something to move on here for Manchester.
You mentioned Romero a little bit ago, and what concerns me about him at this stage is completion percentage at only 48%, and then Dante Cheney, when he plays, his is only at 38%, so they're not putting up high numbers there.
And Romero has thrown 3 picks this year as well. He does have a tendency to maybe force the ball more than he should. We'll see how that plays in the quarterback game as this game goes forward.
One other note on this offense, last week Andrew Romero was sacked 5 times against Defiance. Now, Defiance isn't exactly a team that you're going to go, wow, defensively they're really good. So that offensive line today is really going to play better.
It's going to be, the line is going to be a big key in this game, I think. With Bluffton, you know, are you going to be able to win that line of scrimmage battle against Bluffton? It's going to be a wait-and-see approach. We'll find out what happens.
Well, these two teams battling. In fact, Bluffton trying to go to 2-0 in the conference. If they can pick up a win today, Manchester try to win the first time in the conference this season and get that goose egg off the board as well. There are 2 other games today in the conference. Mount St. Joe is playing at Anderson. That is also a 1:30 kickoff time. And Rose-Hulman, after their big win last week, they travel to Hanover. That game will kick off at 2 o'clock. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back, and the kickoff right around the corner here on HCAC TV.
This summer, I completed an internship at Speedway Indoor Karting, also known as SIK, and this was my 3rd summer with them as an intern. It's literally just a few minutes right down the road from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is where the Indy 500 takes place. One of my favorite things about the internship was that the director of engagement allowed me to focus more on the things that I wanted to look into. So as the summers began going by, I realized that marketing was kind of where I wanted to end up, customer service, communications, that type of stuff, which is why I ended up deciding we narrowed down my position to becoming the marketing intern. And so a lot of my day-to-day now, my main focus is social media. So I run SIK's LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I deal with customer service through that. I also make all of the social media posts. I create the content calendar for the entire year. And then I also work from home for them during the school year. So I work from Manchester. This internship allowed me to build my resume, experience things that other students may not get to experience. I feel like it'll put me in a better position to be more qualified for jobs after I graduate. Even on top of that, I've already received my first job offer from them. So my internship already gave me an opportunity outside of college, which is better than what most people can say as they're heading into the workforce. The past 2 years, I've actually never been karting inside of SIK. I've always been on the office side of things. So this summer was my first time that I actually got to go karting at SIK. And it was just a fun experience to be with my coworkers in a little more competitive setting and just be able to have fun and be around with them in our actual facility and getting to experience that. I think the fact that Manchester University is kind of gearing themselves toward more experiential learning for students is just going to put us one step ahead of everyone, because we're able to use these real world experiences and apply them to jobs, and all of our resumes are going to be more extensive than others, and we've had the opportunity to be there and we've had the opportunity to learn and grow as individuals and professionals.
Back here at Manchester University, captains meeting at midfield. And while we're preparing for the kickoff, let's mention our sponsors for today's broadcast. They include Reynolds Farm Equipment, the leading equipment dealer, and has been since 1955. Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication in the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission. For over 131 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Burtner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. The Morales Group. We're in business to create a better future for you and your family. McGinley Wrights Financial, inspiring people to repeatedly take action on their financial goals. Indiana Labor's District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Labor's District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. And the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page every day with updated news from coast to coast. Log on to IndianaSRN.org and click on the sports page tab. John Lester, let's talk about keys to the game. We'll start with the Beavers.
Well, for Bluffton, they had that great performance last week against Anderson. They want to try to keep that momentum carrying over into this week against Manchester. You're staring a 2-0 conference start right in the face. If you get this win today, be right there in the conference race. For Manchester, the big key is they have dug themselves into early holes all year long. They are not going to be able to sustain that. They cannot dig themselves an early 2-score hole like they've done a lot of times this year.
All right, those are the keys to the game. As you see, Manchester will kick off the football to get this one underway here this afternoon. So we'll see Bluffton on offense first. Want to remind you that today's broadcast is a copyright production of HCAC TV and the HCAC Conference. Any use of audio video without the express written permission of those two entities is strictly prohibited. So Bluffton ready to receive the football. We're ready to go on this college football Saturday. And a beautiful day it is here in Manchester. Crowd getting into it here this afternoon as well. It will be a short kick, and it will land inside the 20. And a dangerous football is going to be recovered by Manchester. Great job on special teams by Jovian Davis.
Well, a little bit of a mental lapse there. You got to pick up that ball. That's a live ball on a kickoff as we look at it right here. I think the returner thought it was maybe going to go out of bounds, laid back on it, and the Manchester right there, and they're starting in the red zone on the first possession of the game.
Boy, big mistake there by the Beavers. In the ball when it bounced, and I'm like you, I think he thought it was going to go out of bounds, but you got to go after it.
Yeah, being a live ball like that, once you see that maybe it's not going to take that out of bounds, you've got to just fall on it or something to save possession.
We'll put the football at the 19-yard line, handoff, and the carry, and it's going to be dropped back after a gain of a couple of yards, and that was Albert Wadlington who got the carry. 32 carries, 127 yards this season. And after the gain of about 2, it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Wadlington's the running back we were mentioning before the game. He's been getting a lot of carries here recently, kind of been the go-to running back here for Manchester the last couple weeks.
So it'll be 2nd down. Up front, Ellis, Pollock, Hindman, Pills, and Martin. Romero out of the shotgun. We'll put a man in motion. Romero to throw. Here they come, and he's going to get away from pressure. Looking downfield, heaves this one toward the end zone and throws an interception. What a turn of events already as Bluffton, Nolan Hubre coming up with the INT, and just like that, Bluffton gets it back.
That's a throw Romero just cannot make. There was nothing downfield, and you just got to get out of the pocket and throw that ball out of bounds or something. You just put that ball up for grabs, and nobody but a Bluffton defender right there for the pick.
We had mentioned Romero earlier with his percentage completion under 50%, but you're right. You just got to live for another day.
Yeah, roll out and even just throw the ball out of bounds or something. You're in field goal range. You just cannot afford to throw like that.
By the way, Chris McLaurin is going to start in the backfield. Number 18, Unruh at quarterback. The handoff will go to Stoner, and Stoner may get a couple and not much there.
Good stand there by the Manchester defense, holding Stoner to a minimal gain here on 1st down.
By the way, McLaurin will be more of an H-back. You'll see him shift around. You see him number 18 lining up just off of the guard and tackle on the left side. Gain of a couple, it'll be second down. Unruh out of the shotgun, looks to throw. Near sideline, and has his man, and just out of the outstretched arms of Josquez Cullors. So it's going to be third down.
Great pass there by Unruh to Cullors. Maybe just a little bit overthrown, but I think if Cullors has this back, I think he's thinking maybe that's a catch you need to make right there for Cullors.
You know, one thing about that pattern, you notice that Cullors was kind of slowing up before the ball even got up in the air, and I'm wondering why he slowed down.
That's a good question, yeah, and I think that played in that incompletion.
Unruh to throw, fires over the middle, too high for the intended receiver. That's Ethan Berenger, and a fourth down coming now, so both teams missing opportunities early.
So that was a great stand by Manchester, giving up the offense, giving up the pick there, but the defense forcing a 3-and-out at the other end, came out unscathed on that.
Drew Michael will come in to punt the football away. And so Manchester will get the ball back after each team now with miscues early. And now we've got stoppage of play. They're going to reset the play clock. We'll keep you updated on if we get scores on Mount St. Joe and Anderson underway, and Rolls-Hulman and Hanover. Plus, we'll update you on some of the other scores around the country in Division I football. That was a high snap, able to get rid of it, and on the return, and probably not a very smart play there either by the return man. Boy, I tell you, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that might be one you just, after the bounce, you just maybe just want to fall on, and football there. Took a pretty good shot there at the end.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Manchester. Today's game brought to you in part by Reynolds Farm Equipment, the leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors in Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give them a call at 317-849-0810. Romero back in after throwing the interception. Wadlington in the backfield for the Spartans. Football placed at the 27-yard line. No score here in this opening period of play. The pitch, run around the right side, not much there. Bluffton's defense doing a nice job in pursuit.
Yeah, Bluffton defense right there, eyeing the run and limiting the run to maybe a 1-yard loss on the play, actually, on first down.
Max Moore gets credit for the tackle. He is one of the 3 defensive linemen. Marcus McWright, Colin Hone, and Max Moore up front with Hogan, Perry, Berry, and Hubre, who got that interception. They are in the linebacking positions, and we've got a whistle. And here's the official, and a penalty called against Manchester.
Yeah, a little bit of motion penalty there, costing Manchester 5. Now going to be backed up inside the 20. I'm sorry, inside the 25, excuse me.
You mentioned Wadlington, 127 yards. Cameron Hovey, a returner from last year, 162 yards on the season. And James Lewis, 165. So far, we've only seen Wadlington. Trips left. Second down. Swing pass to the outside, and it got blown up immediately. Wow. That's going to be Dom Apogee there to get the stop, and he might have hurt his shoulder.
It looked like the Bluffton defender got blocked right into the receiver there. As we look at this replay, it looked like there was actually a Manchester defender pushed him into the back there.
He is out. That may be a shoulder injury. He hit hard. That was a big-time collision. So now Manchester at 3rd and 21. They'll go trips near side. Romero, quick pass out on the flat. Ball will be caught, and that goes nowhere. Dropped immediately by Nolan Hubre, who again came up with that interception earlier.
Well, Troy, I'm not sure I like that play call of a screen pass on 3rd and 21. I think you have to try to find something down the field there, and you're going to be punting from deep in your own territory now.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was and you threw it to the short side of the field. There wasn't much room to maneuver either. So Manchester will punt the football away. And Bluffton should get pretty good field position right here. Boy, in this area, too, you don't want to make a mistake with a bad snap, do you? Here they come, and almost blocked. Does get rid of it in time, and a fair catch will be called at the 42-yard line. We're talking about just inches right there.
That was almost a block, and that was going to be 6 points if that was going to be a blocked punt.
Want to remind you today's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. They're in business to create a better future for you, your family, and for the community we share. As you get another look at it right there, that might have been just off to the right of the blocker's hand. By the way, we can match you with the right career, hire the right candidate for your company. The Morales Group. Give them a call at 317-472-7600. Evan Unruh back out. Football at the 42-yard line. Unruh tries to get rid of it, and he almost throws an interception. Another bad decision, and it was nearly picked off.
Yeah, that was one. Unruh almost threw a pick there, and I think the defender would like to have that one back. That was right in his hands.
Landon Hicks nearly had the INT. He's probably as surprised as we were that ball was right in his hands. 2nd down and 10 now for the Beavers. Not a good start for either one of these two teams here this afternoon. Unruh to throw toward the sideline. It's behind the receiver. He does make the catch, shy of the 1st down. That's going to be Payne on the reception. Nigel Payne, one of the starting wide receivers.
First completion for Unruh today in his 4 attempts.
And that wasn't a pretty pass either. It's going to be about 3 yards short of a 1st down at the 49-yard line. Unruh will hand it off, run up the middle. Looks like Stoner gets the carry, got the 1st down.
Great strength there by Stoner. Looks like he was going to be held to about a 4 or 5 yard gain, but getting the extra yardage there, and it turned into about a 10-yard gain there for Stoner on 3rd down.
Kanan Stoner, look at that run. In fact, he about ran over one of his own players right there, huh? Better get out of the way quickly. Stoner again, nothing this time. Brought down by Jalen Grimes, who, by the way, was named the Defensive Player of the Week last week in the conference. He had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 10 total tackles, and a forced fumble in their win. 2nd down and 9. Unruh to throw. Pumps that one and then takes off himself, and he's going to get the 1st down.
Great job there by Unruh. Saw he had nothing down the field, but saw a lot of green in front of him and was able to get 10 yards and a 1st down there for Unruh.
So put the football at about the 32-yard line. That was the line of gain there for Bluffton. Now, I think he ought to carry that football a little bit better than he did right there. Stoner on the carry and maybe a yard. When you're carrying the football and you know you're not going to throw it, I'm not going to carry it out here like a loaf of bread. You got to pack it in.
You got to keep it up with your body. Yeah, that could be very easily can cause a fumble there.
2nd down and 9. Two receivers split evenly to each side. That's Stoner in motion. Quick screen pass. Ball's caught inside the 20. Down to the 10, the 5, and the touchdown, Nigel Payne. That was Payne making the catch and doing the rest of the work himself.
And a couple missed tackles in there for Manchester allowed Payne to do the rest as well, finish this off, and an early lead for Bluffton.
Take another look at it, John, right here.
You're looking at it here, yeah, Payne, and with this missed tackle right here, and that was the end of it right there. Payne finishes off the rest there for Bluffton.
So the extra point attempt as Bluffton gets on the board first here at Manchester. Drew Michael will attempt the extra point. The kick is on the way, and it is good. 8:24 to go, opening period. Bluffton leads at 7-0.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS JOBS to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Football on HCAC TV brought to you in part by Boilermaker Local 374. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication in the state of Indiana. When you need a safe, dependable workforce for new build and upgrade or facility maintenance, you can count on Boilermaker Local 374 to do the job right the first time. Manchester will get the football back. Fair catch on the kickoff. And all right, we've gotten a feel for the game early, John Lester, and you can kind of tell from Manchester why they only average about 8 points per game. Their offense is inconsistent, at least what we have seen early. They've got to find a way to generate some offense here.
Stagnant somehow, some way. They're going to have to determine what it is that's working. And Manchester had an ample opportunity there, but you saw a little bit of what happened. Forced throws that you shouldn't make lead to turnovers, and then it leads at the other end to giving up the points at the other end. We'll see how they can handle this drive here.
They'll have it first down and 10, football at the 33-yard line. Andrew Romero once again out of the shotgun. A little misdirection play, and the handoff will go to Wadlington, and Wadlington will get a couple out of this one.
Wadlington's been the offense so far for Manchester, as he has been a big key in the offense the last 2 days or 2 weeks here for Manchester, trying to get him getting the offense going here.
You can do a lot of misdirection, and I think that's great. But as a Bluffton defense, if they just stay home and play the responsibility, it's awful hard to fool them. So we'll see if they'll do even more as the Spartans will go trips near side. Second down and 7. And a lot of jumping, and that happens, and that's going to go against Bluffton. When you got so many moving parts and one person's not listening as well as they should, and that's what hurts you right there.
And it led you right there to the motion penalty there, and it just cost yourself 5 more yards, which is something you just cannot do against an offense that is stagnant and struggles like Manchester's has had all year.
And, John, you mentioned that in the pregame, that penalties have been an issue for them too.
And that's already 2 here in the first quarter for Manchester.
And so now you're playing behind the chains at second down and 12. Stack trips left. Pretty much a base defense now for Bluffton. Screen pass to the outside, and the receiver decided to take off and forgot the football.
It may have been just as well that it was incomplete, because the Bluffton, there are about 3 defenders that were right there that were going to gobble up the defender right after that catch there.
So now 3rd and 12. By the way, you can follow live stats on the Manchester football website. Just go to their website and find the schedule, and you'll see stats and everything else you need there to keep up to date on what is happening throughout the entire game.
On 3rd down and 12 here, this is almost going to be another passing situation for Manchester.
Romero once again to throw. Here comes the blitz. Romero able to get away from one, but not the second. Then he fumbles the football, and I think Bluffton got it. 77, Colin Hone is there, and we just talked about that, holding the football loose, and it cost you.
I was just getting ready to say we were just talking about that same thing on the last drive, and here you see Romero just kind of has the ball hanging out there, as you can see, and Emma just poked loose there, and Bluffton another turn. That's 2 turnovers already in the first quarter for Manchester.
There was a fight for the football right there, but eventually they got Colin Hone, the second turnover now for Manchester. And so they're going to give the football to the Beavers at the 29. This is something we talked about too, John, before we started. Manchester's defense doesn't give up a ton of yards because they're always playing on a short field.
Always a short field to work with. And another thing, Bluffton a chance to get Manchester in a 2-score hole again, which has been, unfortunately for them, the story of the season.
So Unruh ready to direct the Bluffton offense, trying to go up 2 scores. He'll pump, looks to the sideline, man wide open, and will he stay in bounds? He will not. He goes out of bounds, but it's good enough for first down. Kobe Coffey, number 26 there, on the reception, and somebody missed an assignment.
Missed an assignment there, and Coffey took on and realized that and makes it inside the 5-yard line. As we look at it right here, Unruh finds him. Oh, what blown coverage right there, and it's 1st and goal.
Manchester playing a zone defense cost him on that one. It'll be 1st and goal, and the run up the middle, easy enough for Kobe Coffey. And he's in from about 2 yards out, and the score, and it's 13-0, and the turnover costing the Spartans.
And once again, Bluffton taking advantage of a turnover and putting Manchester in that early 2-score hole. As we look at the finish here on the touchdown, just untouched 3 yards into the end zone.
Boy, that offensive line dominated, didn't they? And they opened up a hole that even John Lester could run through. So now the extra point by Drew Michael, the line drive, and it is good. 6:41 to go, first period, Bluffton up 14-0.
You an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Well, the onside kick, Manchester able to get it as Bluffton tried to put a little trickery early on this one, but here's why they do stuff like that, because they know that the defense is good enough to shut Manchester down.
That is, and they know the Manchester offense is struggling a little bit, so they were trying to get a free one there, and does give Manchester a very good field position, though, with that missed onside kick.
Well, we had talked about earlier with Manchester, they had fallen behind early in 3 of their 4 games that they played this year, and now they're behind again. And again, that changes your game plan, John, where you thought maybe you'd have a balanced attack, and then pretty soon you're going to have to throw the football a lot.
It's going to have to go to a pretty much all rush or throw attack here, as you said. Now, with this field position, even though we're still only in the first quarter, you almost get the feeling right now that this is a must-score drive right now for Manchester.
I agree. By the way, Andrew Romero, I believe, is out of the lineup. We'll get the new quarterback coming up here in a couple of moments. Romero has struggled early. So with him out, they make a change at the quarterback position. First down and 10, and they'll look to run the football, and he goes down immediately. I don't know if he got tripped over one of his own offensive linemen, but now you're already at 2nd and long.
Might have been bit by a little bit of the turf monster as well right there, and not the start you were looking for if you're Manchester, losing 3 yards on first down.
So 2nd down.
Putting in James Lewis at the running back position for Wadlington here as well.
Yeah, Lewis wearing number 8. We thought we'd see him tonight. Quarterback keeper around the left side, and nothing there again. They cannot run the football here because you look at Bluffton, John, they have so many players in the box because they know they can't throw.
And the Bluffton defense just looks like they're 1-2 steps ahead every time so far against that Manchester line right now. And, you're looking at 3rd and 13 here, and I know, like I said, we're still in the first quarter. You get the feeling this might also be 4-down territory right now.
I agree. By the way, the new quarterback, want to mention him real quick as we get our roster out. It's Darian Martinez. Martinez out of Chandler, Arizona. They list him as wait a minute. It's going to be Derek Santiago. They're two number 12s. This is Santiago out of Gary. He's just a freshman. He'll pump and throw deep and almost threw another interception. We had not had Derek Santiago on our depth chart, but he is in the ball game now.
You had to use Dante Chaney as the backup quarterback for a lot of this season, but they're going to see what they got from Santiago. Pretty good arm here on Santiago on this throw, but a defender right there. Of course, the incompletion. And let's see if they do indeed keep the offense out here, and it looks like they will on 4th down.
And it is tough to win with a freshman quarterback that hasn't seen a whole lot of time.
Yeah, seeing Coach Hunt seeing what he's got in Santiago here.
No,
Might as well give him a chance. I mean, you see what you got here.
Yeah, true. They are going to punt it away, though.
So
they brought the punting unit on. They'll try to pin Bluffton deep if they can to a little pooch punt here. But that's going to take a bounce the opposite way for Bluffton. They have the football inside the 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
I think you were hoping to pin them a little bit deeper than that, instead of only getting about a 25-yard punt there. And we're going to see the Bluffton offense right back out here again.
By the way, when you talk about Derek Santiago out of Gary, played at Calumet New Tech High School. So now Bluffton takes over. Well, when you're struggling offensively and you're trying to find some answers, you literally got to make changes. You don't have any choice.
Yeah. You've just got to see it's not working with your first, so see what your backups have and see what they can bring you here.
Unruh, 1st down and 10. They run the football over the right side. Big hole near a 1st down. That's going to be Kobe Coffey on the carry. Coffey was not listed in the 2 deeps we had earlier, but he's had a touchdown run, and he's running the football well. So it will be a 1st down as we're under 4.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter of play. Unruh once again out of the shotgun, play action, fires and misfires that one near the 50-yard line.
I think they thought the receiver was going to be a little bit deeper, and it looked like the receiver may have ran a little bit of a wrong route there and forced the incompletion.
Pass intended for Trayvon Cummings.
Take a look at it here.
Boy, and Cummings, by the way, had room, didn't he?
Yeah, and it looked like he stopped up a little bit there.
High snap brought down by Unruh. Unruh runs toward the sideline. He may get a half a yard out of it.
Well, that high snap threw off the whole timing on that, and Unruh realized he was just going to get what he could right there. And now this is a very important 3rd down, a must-stop 3rd down for the Manchester defense here.
Beavers last week, 415 yards of total offense against Anderson. But a 3rd down and 9. They'll have to get to the 44. Unruh to throw. Down the middle, and he had his receiver, but I think there's interference on this one as Colors ended up getting grabbed at some point, and that'll go against Manchester's defense.
Yeah, it was going to be – you hate to see a good penalty, but this is a penalty. This was going to be possibly 6 points if the interference had not occurred right there for Manchester, because the receiver had the defense beat.
So a mistake there by the Manchester Spartans. Will put the football at the 49 of Manchester. The drive stays alive. Boy, and you hate to see that on 3rd and long, too.
Giving a free 1st down. Yeah.
By the way, Mount St. Joe leading Anderson 7-0 in their contest. The other game will get underway. In fact, is underway just right now. Rose-Hulman in Hanover. Unruh to throw. Steps up in the pocket. The coverage outran him there, and so he'll head to the sidelines. And did he get a 1st down? I believe he may have.
Unruh saw that there was no defenders there, so took it upon himself to get what he could there near a first down. Looks like it's going to be about an 8-yard gain here on first down for Unruh.
Yeah, a little bit short of that first down marker.
Just no defenders in the area, and Unruh wisely realizes that and realizes I can pick up about 8 yards here.
So Bluffton will run the football. Coffee here on the near side. He's going to be close to the first down.
Going to be right at it, and I think they are going to give it to him.
McLaurin was the starting H-back, Stoner the starting running back, and yet Kobe Coffey's getting most of the work now in the last 2 series. Unruh, hands off to Coffey. Coffey got spun around and brought down immediately by Jalen Grimes, the Defensive Player of the Week in the conference.
That time a good defensive stop for Manchester here, limiting the damage to a 2-yard gain on first down.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Coffey in motion out in the flat. Ball thrown over the middle and dropped. We have seen players, and this happened again right there, where players are taking off before they actually get the football.
Saw he had a lot of open field ahead of him, but forgot to pull the ball in. And then instead of a first down here, you're looking at a 3rd and 8 now for Bluffton.
Pass intended for McLaurin, the H-back. So Coffey in the backfield, now 3rd down and 7. Trips right. Unruh fakes the handoff, screen pass near side, ball caught, and then finding room to the outside, down the sideline to the 10, and then finally knocked out of bounds. Great play there by Colors, and he did it pretty much all by himself.
And again, a lot of missed tackles there. It looked like Manchester was going to have him short of the first down, but some missed tackles there.
Manchester has 2 players down, one of those inbounds, and so we have a hurt player for the Spartans. Will take a timeout, 14-0 Bluffton.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
By the way, the injured player coming out of the lineup looks like Yandel Victoriano. But Bluffton now has it 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, trying to score another 6, possibly 7 here in the opening period after a rough start. Evan Unruh will have Coffey in the backfield. Coffey on the carry, gets grabbed immediately and thrown down. Good defense that time for Manchester.
Yeah, that time nowhere to go for Coffey. Great job by the Manchester defense. A 1-yard loss on the play on first down. As we look at it here, Coffey just nowhere to go right there.
Well, there were a couple of missed blocks there, weren't there? I tell my lineman, hey, just sustain it a little bit longer, please. So 2nd and goal. Handoff Coffey. Coffey follows his blockers to the right side, spins to the end zone, and scores. That's a great run by Kobe Coffey, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
Boy, Coffey just shedding through the defense that time and finishing off the last 7 yards on his own, and the 3rd touchdown of the first quarter for Bluffton. As we look at it here, Coffey is getting right by that defense into the end zone.
He got some good blocks, didn't he?
Credit this offensive line for Bluffton for the job they're doing as well with that blocking as well.
Drew Michael will attempt the extra point. And the kick is on the way, and it bloops over the crossbar. The holder had a little tough time with the snap, but he was able to get it down in time. 21-0 Beavers.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Beautiful day here at Manchester. Chuck Levine, one of our two camera people here today. On the kickoff return, two men run into each other. Well, he's, who is our other camera guy? Oh, yeah, Slappy White is there today, too. And, of course, Nick Lewis, our producer here this afternoon. Anytime that we get Chuck and Slappy together, they always give us great ambiance.
They're fantastic. Yeah.
Yes. Manchester, by the way, has a player down. Want to remind you, today's game brought to you in part by Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. As a prestige healthcare company, Passion to Care is driven by decades of expertise and a drive to go above and beyond. Give them a call at 317-537-1811. Sidelines there for the Spartans, and I think it's safe to say that they better get some going pretty quick. This thing could be over by halftime.
Yeah, giving up the 3 scores here early to Bluffton. Somehow they're going to have to find something offensively somewhere on that sideline to see, just to build something on for Manchester right now.
Injured player is up and headed toward the sideline. You see him kind of favoring that left arm, left shoulder. We've had a couple of players go down with shoulder injuries early. You don't blame the two players there from a standpoint. I know there was a little mix-up, but you don't want that to fall like we did in the first half and have a loose ball.
And have it ends up in a fumble situation.
Trips near side. Looks like Santiago will stay in the ball game. Hard to see the number from here in the press box. We'll try to pick it up as he's ready to throw. Ball caught over the middle, and it'll be a first down. That'll be Paredes, Aiden Paredes, on the reception, his first of the day.
And sometimes starts with a little play like that to get your offense going. I believe that is the first down of the game for Manchester, maybe their second, but great job finding his receiver right there, and in one play, Manchester's on the plus side of the field.
So the Spartans get a first down. Trips near side. Could be the final play of this opening period. James Lewis stays in as the running back. Lewis gets the call, and Lewis is going to get hammered for a big loss. That's a swarming defense right there.
You see that defense coming right when the ball was getting handed off. You could see that was going to go nowhere for Lewis, in a 4 or 5 yard loss on first down.
Number 11, Trey Stribling, might have been the first one there.
You see that defense breaking through that offensive line there, getting to Lewis.
Yeah, Stribling was the first of many there for the Beavers. That will do it for the opening period of play. Bluffton on top, 21-0.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Pier number 2 ready to go here at Manchester University. Bluffton again leading this one 21-0. Troy Naragowski along with John Lester. Well, I tell you, we got a long way to go in this one, but after one quarter, you're hoping, if you're a Spartan fan, you make that nice first down play, and then you run the football and you lose 5 or 6.
And you gave up almost about half of what you gained on that first down play. Now let's see what they can bring here on 2nd and 15.
I know you're going to have the numbers here in a moment, and the offensive numbers so far are not good if you're a Spartan fan. Santiago to throw to the sideline and underthrows his intended receiver, and it was nearly picked off.
Again, another dangerous pass there for Santiago, throw like into traffic right there. Luckily that wasn't picked off.
Yardage-wise, give us an update.
In that first quarter, we saw Bluffton, and they're up to 149 yards of offense in the first quarter. So we take a look at that replay there, and a great job by the offensive player to knock that ball away. Yeah, Manchester held to 10 yards in that first quarter by that Bluffton defense. 2 turnovers as well in that first quarter.
3rd down and 16.
And Manchester 0 for 3 on 3rd downs at this point as well.
Playing behind the chains again will be dangerous. Looking to get rid of the football of Santiago, and he was ready to get rid of that football any way he could because they were coming after him.
They were coming. Santiago wisely just got rid of it, although he threw it at a defender's leg there. Harmlessly incomplete, and it's going to have to be another punt here for Manchester.
Well, this happens when you play behind the chains as much as you do, and you can see the way that Bluffton is coming after him. And look at all the players over there with black jerseys, yet he couldn't get him the football.
Just was unable to find, and unfortunately it leads to another punt here for Manchester.
So 4th down and 16. Manchester able to get rid of the football on this one, and it'll be a fair catch. And 1st down now for Bluffton. Piper Logistics, one of our great sponsors for more than 2 decades. The seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have consistently been the trusted allies for all your inventory management, warehousing, fulfillment, and transportation needs. We stand as your comprehensive logistics partner. Give them a call at 317-396-1023.
This is the worst starting field position that Bluffton has seen today, so Manchester can force a 3 and out here. You're going to be able to get the ball back with decent field position.
Nigel Payne, the receiver to the bottom of your screen, has one-on-one coverage. Unruh will hand off Stoner. Stoner able to cut back and get a nice gain of about 6. And it'll be 2nd down.
Getting across there, Stoner finding a hole there, getting 6 yards there for Bluffton on 1st down.
Stoner, a returner from last year's Beaver football team as well, and he's going to get another call to the outside. He's going to lose yardage on this one.
Great job there by the Manchester defense reading that run play, and now having Bluffton backed up to a 3rd down here. Must stop right here for the Manchester defense on 3rd down.
Jaquan Williams is the one who gets the stop.
Loss on the play brings it up 3rd down and 8 for Bluffton.
So again, 3rd down and 8. Unruh will keep Stoner in the backfield. Unruh steps up, throws downfield, and overthrows his intended receiver, but a flag is down on Landon Hicks.
I think they're going to get interference here. Hicks got there a little early, looked like, on the offensive player. And again, a 3rd down penalty to give Bluffton the 1st down. 2nd interference penalty we've seen.
Take another look at it right here.
You see Hicks get just a bit early and hold him right there. That's a good call.
Well, it's back to the same thing for Manchester. You get a great positive play on defense, and then you take a step back with that.
Just one play, and it changes the whole. And it's Bluffton's been able to convert it the first 2 times that's happened. Let's see what they do here.
So 1st down, football again at the 35. They'll stack receivers to each side. Nearly fumbling the football on the handoff is Unruh. He's still going to get something positive out of this one. That was ugly from the beginning, but somehow he gets about 3 yards out of it.
That's about the best 3-yard run I've seen right there. Unruh looked like it was going to be held to about a 2 or 3 yard loss, somehow finding some range to get 3 yards positive gain out of that for Unruh on first down.
Well, when you're playing that type read at quarterback, whether you're going to hand it off or not, and he thinks you're going to give it to him and he strips it out of your hands, that can be tough. RPO. Throwing downfield and just out of the reach of his intended receiver, Nigel Payne, here on the sideline.
Great arm there by Unruh. Saw he had Payne down, but it looked like it may have been a little overthrown, and another third down situation for Bluffton. Let's take a look at it here. Unruh finds Payne outrunning his defender there. Just a little too tall for him.
Probably would have been okay if you lead him on the pass. Neither of the quarterbacks we have seen have been very effective here today in the passing department. That's going to be incomplete. And we will see the punting unit come on. That was intended for Nigel Payne.
I was wondering if they were going to throw. I thought the defender may have gone there a little early on that one too, but no flag thrown on this one as he does a little Dikembe Mutombo going back to the sideline there.
I'm not sure if I'm down 21-0 that I do that.
I'm not a big fan of, when you're down that.
Yeah, Dikembe Mutombo, who, by the way, passed away a couple of weeks ago. Louis Tiant passed away. Pete Rose passed away.
One of the last true centers in the NBA.
Exactly.
That's basically a drying position.
You know, with those folks dying away, I'm probably next. I mean, can't be too far away, can it? And that was going to hit one of the Manchester players, and fortunately they were able to get on top of it. Boy, that was Javion Davis, who was there on special teams, who nearly cost him another big football play.
And it's mistakes like this that you just cannot have if you're Manchester. You've got to get out of the way right there if you're an offensive player. Manchester able to keep possession.
So it'll be first down for the Spartans. Santiago back in once again. Romero pulled after a couple of series. And so Santiago back in. I believe this is his third series of the football game. Fakes the handoff, throws over the middle, and it's picked off. The pass behind the intended receiver, and Hubre gets his second of the day.
I don't know if that went just right through the offensive player's hands or what, if that was just an overthrow. We're going to look at it right here. Santiago, it was a little behind the receiver and the defender right there for the pick. And a third turnover of the first half for Manchester.
Pass intended for Levi Campbell. You see the Bluffton fans who made that long road trip. They're happy about this first half, and Bluffton gets it again deep into Manchester territory. As we said earlier, John, this has kind of been the theme for Manchester, their defense with their back against the wall again. Another short field. Stoner up the middle, takes a hard hit. Manchester trying to strip the football right there, but they are unsuccessful in doing so.
Stoner a little dangerous how he was holding the ball there as well. Luckily that didn't come out as a fumble. But this is one of those drives right here for Bluffton. I know we're early in the second quarter, but you get the feeling Bluffton senses a knockout punch here on a score.
I agree. Yeah, they want to get it in the end zone again, and it would be an uphill battle. Maybe too much for Manchester to overcome. Unruh to his left now throws downfield and pretty much throws that one away.
There was nothing at all down the field, and wisely just throws it to the sideline there, incomplete. And now it's a third down for Bluffton. Manchester stopped him on third down last time and forced a punt. But you get where they're at on the field, this is probably four down territory right here.
So here we go at third down and 7. Football again at the 30. Unruh, screen pass, near side, has blockers, first down and more. Inside the 10 and into the end zone, Nigel Payne. great screen pass, and he had the blockers in front of him.
And Payne gets that blocking from the line once again and finishes the job for a 30-yard receiving touchdown. I believe the third touchdown for him in this first half, I believe. And you see it right here, just getting that blocking and nothing but green ahead of him.
Boy, look at all those linemen that were over there. That's crazy. Wow. So the extra point now by Drew Michael, who's getting a workout here in the first half. Snap a little bit off the mark, but the holder able to bring it in. 28-0 Bluffton.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
HCAC football update. Mount St. Joseph now leading Anderson 21-0 in the second quarter. Get you an update on Rose-Hulman and Hanover. Here it is all Bluffton in the second. Manchester will get the football back. They have had a bevy of mistakes today that has cost them once again. Short kick, and the up man unable to hold on to it as it went right between the wickets, and they're glad they had somebody right behind him.
Again, Manchester, just a mistake right there. Luckily for them, they're able to hang on to the football, but not as good a field position as what it was looking like they were going to start out with there.
So Santiago back in after throwing an interception moments ago.
Only one first down to this point for the Manchester offense. They're going to have to somehow, some way, find at least a drive-sustaining drive to get their defense a little bit of a breather there on the sideline.
Question now is, how long do you go with Santiago? Do you try to maybe find somebody else?
I'm anxious to maybe bring Cheney in. He's had some work this year.
Santiago hands it off. Big hole up the middle and a great run. Close to a first down.
Got the second best offensive play for Manchester today, getting a 9-yard pickup there on first down. That was Cameron Hovey, I believe, getting that carry.
Yeah, Hovey hasn't carried the football much tonight. We saw Wadlington early, saw James Lewis, and now Hovey getting an opportunity. He did get a first down on that to the 34-yard line.
Good job there by Manchester, getting their second first down of the game.
Coming up at 11 minutes remaining here in the first half. Now trips to the near side for Santiago. Bluffton has 7 in the box. Let's see if they'll come with it here. Here comes the blitz. And they did, and they're going to get Hovey dropped for a loss of yardage. I could see that one coming.
Yeah, you can see they were bringing the house right there, and the high snap as well did not added to Manchester's problem with that one there. That threw off the timing on it, and that play was just getting blown up from the beginning, as you see here on that high snap. And right there is the Bluffton defense once again.
It was Devin Hogan, the outside linebacker. So now you're behind the chains again. That's something we've talked a lot about today for Manchester. Second down and 12. Looks like Hovey stays in as the setback. High snap, Santiago, high throw, and incomplete, intended for James Thomas.
Now again, you're putting yourself into a third and long situation. Manchester has not converted to third down yet in this game, and you're looking at 3rd and 12 here. I would think pretty much an obvious passing situation on 3rd down and 12.
And we mentioned earlier they're not very good on 3rd down. Back in the Westminster game, they were 4 of 16. In the Kalamazoo game, They had only 8 first downs. Last week against Defiance, we mentioned that they were unable to run the football, had only 103 yards rushing total as the throw down the middle. Ball's going to be caught, first down.
I was wondering if Bluffton was going to bring the house right there. It looked like they were on the sides, but Santiago able to find his receiver, and the first down here for Manchester on 3rd and 12.
Well, they got a big hit on Santiago. Paradis will come up with a big catch.
An absolute, with the 2 first downs on this drive, an absolute must-score drive here for Manchester.
Santiago, by the way, got drilled by 2 guys. He might be sore after that one. First down and 10. Football again at the 47. Santiago to throw. Now he's going to tuck it under and run and may get back to the line of scrimmage.
I like Santiago there. He forced one earlier on an earlier series, and it ended up the interception. Saw there was nothing there, so just got what he could and get back to the line of scrimmage there. Didn't force another one.
Clock at 9 now here in the second quarter. Good look at Santiago right there. It's taking them a long time to figure out what they want to run right here. Chaplain knows James Thomas is basically wearing shorts. That's got me this year in the football game where their shorts, their pants are no longer football pants.
Yeah, they're...
Handoff, and it'll be Hovey. Hovey inside Bluffton territory, and a great run by Hovey.
How about that strength by Hovey, dragging about 2 or 3 Bluffton defenders with them, and Manchester's picked up their 3rd first down on this drive. By far the best offensive series of the game so far.
Offensive line, only a 3-man front this time, and you saw the linebackers coming from the outside. And once they shot to the outside, there was room up the middle.
And there you see Hovey dragging those defenders with them there, and Manchester's inside the 40-yard line here. But again, you're taking a long time to get the signals from the sideline here, eating up some valuable time here.
Yeah, and they're going to have to hurry now. First down and 10. Still only a 3-man front, and the ball be caught at about the 32-yard line.
Nice little 7-yard pickup there on first down.
Paradis again on the reception. So it'll be second down and about 5. James Thomas coming back in. Thomas, the way his pants look, he looks like more like a rugby player, doesn't he? I wonder when football decided to not have them have their knee pads down around their knees.
That's a good question. Although I would like, speaking of rugby, I'd like to see you in a rugby match.
I'd be tough. And that play might have been blown up right there. Santiago turned and nobody was there to get it.
Yeah, it looked like miscommunication or right there on that, and it forces a 3rd down here for Manchester. By far 4-down territory where they're at from right now.
You ever play rugby?
I have not.
Me neither.
No thank you.
I don't like pain. Plus, you get in those little scrums down there, and I don't know what's going on down in those piles, but
I think you could do it.
Yeah. Even at my age, I could give it a shot. Trips right. 3rd down and 6. As John had mentioned, this is definitely 4-down territory. Santiago ready to throw. Flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to get a first down. He slides at the 25.
I like what I've seen out of Santiago on this drive. It looked like that forced throw he made earlier with the interception. He knows you can't make those mistakes again, and he sees what he has. And you see right here, he saw he had a bunch of open field, takes advantage of it, and gets Manchester another first down.
Clock under 6. Brett Woolsey, the lone receiver. Now he'll be joined by 2 other receivers stacked to the far side. Hovey in motion. Santiago going to run it again, and he may get a yard. Seems like sometimes Bluffton on their rush not containing the quarterback, and by the time they get by him, he has free reign to run.
It looks like they're focusing on the backs and the receiver and leaving that open, a little bit of an opening there in the middle there for the quarterback.
Abdul Amir is the one receiver in the ball game in the slot to the right. So 2nd down and 9 for Santiago. They're showing blitz again. Here they come. Ball completed to the outside, and the person in the slot. And how about that big tackle? That's going to be a penalty against Zach Rhines.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have a sportsmanlike personal foul on that one.
That's stupid play right there. Just tackle him. This isn't the WWE here. Abdul Amir made the reception. Might be his first of the day.
So this is going to put the ball inside the 15-yard line here for Manchester.
Second time they've been in the red zone. They had the first one on the opening kick. Very close to the opening kick. So they're going to move it inside, as you said. See where they'll put the football down to the 12.
I guarantee Coach Nardo will be discussing that. He's like, just like you said, just bring him down. There's no need for the extracurricular. You just cost us 12 yards there on that. It'll be a little bit more disciplined than that.
Boy, this is big here for Manchester, just even from psychological standpoint of getting something on the board before halftime after they've struggled so much. Trips left. Santiago hands off to Hovey. Hovey's going to get dropped, maybe a yard.
Good job there by the Bluffton. Looks like we got a little extracurriculars taking on the place a little there, but great job there by the Bluffton defense, snacking up that line, holding them to a 1-yard gain on first down.
That was Nick Perry, the linebacker. 2nd down and 9, and again a long look to the sideline. This might be coming because of Santiago's inexperience, too. Just hasn't had a whole lot of reps.
The way he has played here in this, let's see if they end up going with him in the second half as well. I like what I've seen out of Santiago here in the first half.
2nd and 9. He turns to hand it off. Nobody is there, but he still gets positive yardage to the 9.
That's the second time we've seen that. There's been nobody in the backfield whenever he's gone to hand the ball off, so he's just getting what he could. Does move it inside the 10-yard line.
Well, for Bluffton's defense, this would be kind of big for them if you can hold Manchester to 3. Long drive here, and they've been on this defense has been on the field a long time.
Time-consuming drive of about 5.5 minutes right now for Manchester. But I guarantee you there's this 4-down territory. They will not bring the field goal kicker on 4th down, I don't think.
All right, well, let's find out. 3rd and 7. Still get a first down out of this drive. Hand off Hovey, and Hovey driving ahead. How about this? All the way to the 5.
So you're going to be looking at about a 4th and about 2.5 or so. The offense is going to stay out here for Manchester.
Bork gets the tackle. Backup defensive lineman.
With a strength here for Hovey that we've seen on this drive. Taking 3 or 4 Bluffton defenders with him.
So 4th down and 3. Boy, this is big right here, isn't it? I know we say big, but for Manchester, they need points on the board quickly. And a whistle will stop play, and I think we have a timeout. Manchester will call a timeout. 2:07 remaining here in the first half. HCAC football brought to you in part by Dynamark. If you're looking to elevate your brand, choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print, signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. They've been serving the Indianapolis area for over 50 years. Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service. 317-328-2555. Oh, they're going to kick the field goal, and John Lester, you told me you guaranteed they were going to go for a touchdown.
They just want to get on the board here, obviously, for Manchester.
All right, so the field goal attempt from the 12, so this is a 22-yard attempt, and the kick is up, and the Spartans are on the board here in the first half. We'll take a timeout, 28-3 Bluffton.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
Well, Manchester gets the goose egg off the board. They trail it 28-3, and I think the mindset, John, was if they don't convert right there, you're like, oh boy, we don't really even have a chance here, so they needed something.
They needed something to get the momentum going, yes, and I was kind of surprised that they didn't go for it there, but hindsight and foresight, yeah, just get something on the board to build on. If you can hold Bluffton here at the end of the first half, you are going to get the football to start the second half.
2 minutes, still a lot of time run that 2-minute offense, especially if you can get some decent field position on the return. And the ball will go out of bounds on the far side of the field. By the way, you were mentioning a little bit ago off the air, and we'll try to run down some scores at halftime. Alabama is now losing to South Carolina 19-14 with 11:48 in the fourth. How do you think people down in the great state of Alabama are going to take that 2 in a row?
They were losing their minds after the Vanderbilt game last week, but I can't even fathom if they don't come back from this one.
Yeah, there were people jumping off bridges all over the place down there in Tuscaloosa. All right, here we go. Football placed at the 35-yard line. Iowa's now leading Washington 23-10 in the third. Iowa welcoming Washington to the Big Ten. Unruh, the keeper, to the 40. See if they'll call a timeout right here.
We'll have the 2-minute timeout right here.
Neither one of these two teams, though, John, have the kind of quarterback, though, that has a strong enough arm that's going to get you 30, 35 yards on a pass. So everything's got to be kind of a little bit of a dink process here. But is a minute 56 going to be enough?
Well, you do have 3 timeouts if you're Bluffton, and it's the way they've been able to drive the ball down the field against this Manchester defense for most of this first half. Although with that last field goal, even though it was a field goal, maybe sense the momentum shifting a little bit here. If they can force Bluffton into a 3-and-out, they've got 2 timeouts themselves. You know, maybe you can get the ball back and steal some more points before the half here.
Certainly would be the case if here the Beavers love to get some more points on that scoreboard here in the first half. Clemson leading Wake Forest 42-14 in the third. Missouri beat that very powerful UMass team, or leading them 45-3 in the third. I know you're a big UMass fan.
Go Minutemen.
In football. Unruh to throw to the sideline. Ball will be caught upfield and should be a first down.
Now if you're Bluffton, you've got the ball almost now at midfield.
By the way, Behringer on the reception. Wisconsin leading Rutgers 28-0. Texas, Oklahoma coming up today at 3:30. And don't forget tonight, Ohio State, Oregon. I think that is tonight.
It is.
Looking to throw Unruh down the middle, and it's incomplete. No flag on this one.
That looked like great defensive coverage that time.
Notre Dame Stanford plays today at 3:30. I know for Keith Myers and his Purdue Boilermakers, they play at Illinois at 3:30. You think people are upset down in Tuscaloosa? They're not too happy in West Lafayette right now either.
Not at all. I see Illinois having a nice comeback here in the Big Ten this year.
They are.
So.
Yeah, they sure are. Handoff Stoner, sweep to the left, and nothing there, but he goes out of bounds.
Nowhere to go there for Stoner, and now a very, very big third down here for Manchester. And Manchester just ate up about 7 minutes on that last drive. So if they can force a 3-and-out here and force that Bluffton defense right back out there after a 7-minute drive, that could be a turning point here.
So 136 football at the 49. And one thing that Manchester doesn't want to do here is give up a big play. Keep everything in front of you. Unruh, here comes the blitz from the outside. Throws under the coverage. Ball caught by Behringer and out of bounds. Put it at the 43.
That's a mistake by Unruh and Behringer right there. That's a situation, unless they are playing for 2 downs, you got to know where the first down marker is there.
See the entire Bluffton offense looking to the sidelines. They're going to put 132, did he say?
132.
So they were off by 15 seconds?
Thinking on that last play before this, the receiver went out of bounds and were under 2 minutes, but they ran the clock again. I think that's where the mix-up came.
Well, they have not changed it on the main scoreboard yet. So you taking Oregon tonight, or you taking Ohio State?
I've got Ohio State big.
I don't like you anymore, John Lester. And if any more of your FedEx planes flies over my house, I'm going to have a sign that says, I don't like John Lester.
I think Oregon, I think it's going to take them, Washington, USC, it's going to take them a year to get adjusted to Big Ten play, and I think they're just going to be in for a rude awakening tonight.
And by the way, your planes flow low enough, they'll see the sign. So don't think they can't see it. All right. After the clock adjustment to 1:32, this will favor Bluffton at this point. Unruh to the sideline, has a man, and is going to be dropped at the last second, knocked away by Landon Hicks.
That was a great defensive play by Hicks, but jarring that away at the last possible moment, and a turnover on downs for Manchester. This was a great throw. It was right on the money, but an even better defensive play at the end. Wow.
Boy, if he maybe led him just a little bit more, though, huh? That ball would not have been touched there by Landon Hicks.
And now if you're Manchester, you have a short field to work with here with 2 timeouts. You steal some more points here before halftime. We've got a brand new game here going into the second half.
So football at the 43. Santiago back out once again. Looks like Hovey stays in as the setback. First down and 10 here for Manchester. So far, Santiago, the only quarterback in the lineup, and we got some movement that has led them to a scoring drive, and this will go against Manchester.
Yeah, those are mistakes you cannot make. That's their 5th penalty here in the first half for Manchester. You've seen it hurt them a couple other times here in the first half.
Penalty will be marked back to the 38.
Mount St. Joseph's now gone up 28-0 on Anderson.
That game taking place at Anderson University. Santiago puts a man in motion. They'll go trips left. Santiago to throw behind the receiver, but makes a nice catch. Aiden Paradis on the reception.
Well done there. Meredith behind him, still able to get to the ball there and beat out 2 Bluffton defenders there. And a nice pickup on first down.
A little more hurry-up offense right here as we're coming up on 1 minute here in the first half. Trips this time to the right side. 4-man rush. Throw over the middle and tipped, and boy, that was dangerous too. Could have been intercepted. Duriel Moss, the intended receiver.
Yeah, that was very, very dangerous pass there for Santiago. Luckily, it fell harmlessly incomplete.
So 3rd down and 6. By the way, Alabama's now taken the lead 20-19. So they're not jumping off the bridge yet. So there's still time, though. Santiago, this again trips to the right side. Will air it out. Ball in the air, down the middle. Ball's going to be caught. Abdul Amir on the reception for the first down.
Second time we've called Abdul Amir's name in this first half. And getting a big reception there for Manchester. And they are down near the in the red zone, as a matter of fact, here on first down and the first half.
Makes you wonder, though, why Bluffton, they play more of a zone defense, but those 2 safeties got to keep everybody in front of them. And they didn't. So we got a timeout on the field. Looks like Bluffton called the timeout here. And they're down to 1 to go here in the first half. Manchester still has 2 timeouts remaining.
Going to have a brand new ball game here if Manchester can put this in the end zone here before the first half ends.
.40 seconds to go. Clock now ticking away on first down. Santiago to throw. Oh my, that could have been a pick 6. Oubre almost got his 3rd of the day.
Wow, that was dangerous right there. That could have been a big turning point right there.
He read those eyes, didn't he?
I don't think Santiago even saw him either. Saw the defender. Wow.
Levi Campbell, the intended receiver. Boy, you make that clean interception, and everybody's kind of standing there. Nobody's going to catch him.
No, he was gone.
Trips right. Santiago, 2nd down and 10. Pass out on the flat and upended. Nice defensive play. And we got another timeout. Apiaggi there on the nice defensive play. And so Manchester has to use a timeout. They'll have 1 remaining. Spartans, by the way, had that nice drive. They got 3 out of it, though you guaranteed going for 7. I won't remind you of that again, but I think this is another one. If they don't get a touchdown, do you again take another 3 because you get the football back in the 3rd?
With get the ball to start the second half, if they do not convert this 3rd down, you are probably going to see a field goal attempt because either of that could still bring it down to that 3-score spread like a touchdown. So this would be a situation, yes, I would expect to see a field goal if they do not convert on 3rd down here.
Boy, but it is awful hard to win football games when you're trading 3s for 7s, right? All right, Spartans. 3rd down and 10. They get a first down at the 10. Duriel Moss, the lone receiver to the right. Santiago again out of the shotgun. Hand off Hovey. Hovey to the outside. Hovey will not get the first down. He's at about the 12.
Ooh, this is going to be a tight call here. But I think you're going to have to bring the field goal kicker in here, I think. You just can't take the risk of getting nothing out of this drive.
They'll get a timeout, I'm sure, right when the clock is about to expire. 1.2 remaining. And so Manchester calls the timeout. Let's see if the field goal unit will come on or they'll take a shot to the end zone. It says on the scoreboard it is 4th down and 2. Football again on the 19-yard line. So you're probably looking, if they're going to kick a field goal, 33, 32 yards.
Mid-30s.
Somewhere in there. And they're going to try the field goals. You see the offense coming off the field. Almost looked like Santiago's thinking, I wanted to go for it. They're going to have to settle for 3.
Looks like it's going to be officially 29 on the field goal.
All right, so 29 yards. Trying to add 3 on the board here for Manchester after giving up 28 straight. And the kick is on the way, and it is no good. Well, adding insult to injury, you have the nice drive, and you come away empty. And a win there for Bluffton as they hold Manchester to just 3 in the first half. And I think overall in the second quarter, Spartans had the nice drive, 2 nice drives by Santiago, so they've got something to perhaps build on. And Cameron Hovey ran the ball well. And their defense was able to hold Bluffton out of the end zone after giving up 28 straight. So your thoughts as we go to halftime?
We're starting to see some signs on the offensive side here for Manchester in that second quarter. And with them getting the ball to start the third quarter, maybe they still have a chance to make this a ball game here going into the second half here.
We will come back a second half just around the corner, and we'll try to get you some updated scores from college football, including the other 2 games in the conference, including Mount St. Joe and Anderson. Last score we had there, 28-0. We'll try to get you an update on Rose-Hulman and Hanover as well. We'll have that coming up next right here on HCAC TV.
Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
The flow of the program, the opportunities of getting really hands-on is crucial for this profession.
We don't have classes during our clinicals, so we can be full-time at our clinicals, which is unique to Manchester.
And you have more say on where you go your second year based on your interests. I feel like I'm ready as I could possibly be to start my career with professional baseball. So that's where I'll be headed after graduation. Come to Manchester. It's a great program.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
That's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter @IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now @IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter @IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now @IndianaSRN.
I like making people feel better on their worst days, so I like to make that difference.
Going to a small school makes it a lot easier to get in touch with your faculty members. I feel like they care about my well-being as well as my education.
They've said many times they want me to be a good person and a good nurse.
We have great technology. Everything you need to enhance your skills as a nurse, we have here at Manchester.
I feel like it's a really good program. I would definitely recommend it to other people.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back here at Manchester, 28-3 here at the half. John Lester has the first half numbers for us.
Well, we're running down here, 28-3 our score. 210 yards of offense in that first half for Bluffton, but they were really held down to about 55 there in that second quarter by Manchester. We talked at the end of the first quarter where Manchester only had 10 yards of offense. They ended up there in the first half. They ended up in the first half with 112, so they really got the offense going there in that second quarter. One of the stats that really is standing out is the time of possession. Manchester's had the ball for almost 18 minutes to Bluffton's 11-20.
Wow.
Bluffton only had the ball for a little over 3 minutes in that second quarter, but you saw Manchester go on that big sustained drive right there that took up about 8 minutes. So if you take these 3 turnovers out of play that Manchester has had in this first half, we could be sitting in a totally different ball game right now.
Wow, no kidding. That time of possession is amazing when you think about it. You look at the score and you think, there's no way. But now having only 3 minutes, it's crazy.
Yeah, about 8 minutes there in that first quarter. Yeah, really limited. 3 minutes, about 3 minutes, 20 seconds of possession time in that second quarter for Bluffton.
That is amazing. How about numbers as far as total offense, and also, if you don't mind, maybe some of the leaders in the first half?
We've got some individual numbers. Yeah, Unruh there for Bluffton passed for 137 yards there in that first half. And they are, of course, Unruh's also the leading rusher for Bluffton in the first half with 27 yards rushing. Coffey's added 26 there. But Manchester, they've been led by Cameron Hovey there, ended up with 34 yards rushing there in that first half. Wadlington, who we were talking about at the beginning, could be a factor. He was held to 4 yards rushing in that first half by the Bluffton defense.
Yeah, no kidding. So those are some of the first half numbers in this Manchester and Bluffton matchup. I'll tell you what, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get you updated on some of the college football scores on a Saturday, including some of the games that were played yesterday. We'll do that next right here on HCAC TV.
This summer, I completed an internship at Speedway Indoor Karting, also known as SIK, and this was my 3rd summer with them as an intern. It's literally just a few minutes right down the road from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is where the Indy 500 takes place. One of my favorite things about the internship was that the director of engagement allowed me to focus more on the things that I wanted to look into. So as the summers began going by, I realized that marketing was kind of where I wanted to end up, customer service, communications, that type of stuff, which is why I ended up deciding we narrowed down my position to becoming the marketing intern. And so a lot of my day-to-day now, my main focus is social media. So I run SIK's LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I deal with customer service through that. I also make all of the social media posts. I create the content calendar for the entire year. And then I also work from home for them during the school year. So I work from Manchester. This internship allowed me to build my resume, experience things that other students may not get to experience. I feel like it'll put me in a better position to be more qualified for jobs after I graduate. Even on top of that, I've already received my first job offer from them. So my internship already gave me an opportunity outside of college, which is better than what most people can say as they're heading into the workforce. The past 2 years, I've actually never been karting inside of SIK. I've always been on the office side of things. So this summer was my first time that I actually got to go karting at SIK. And it was just a fun experience to be with my coworkers in a little more competitive setting and just be able to have fun and be around with them in our actual facility and getting to experience that. I think the fact that Manchester University is kind of gearing themselves toward more experiential learning for students is just going to put us one step ahead of everyone, because we're able to use these real world experiences and apply them to jobs, and all of our resumes are going to be more extensive than others, and we've had the opportunity to be there, and we've had the opportunity to learn and grow as individuals and professionals.
Brian Chrisman joins me today. And Brian, talk a little bit about the winter and Wheeler Mission and how important it is for people to help Wheeler Mission, because winter means homeless and homeless means people in the cold. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, we really serve a lot of people year round, no matter what the weather is, right? And so we serve anywhere from 700 to 900 people who are experiencing homelessness every single night. But when winter hits, that can become life or death. So if you're stuck out in the cold, happens every year, IMPD will find people out in the cold and encourage them to come in. But if they don't catch them in time, I mean, again, life and death. And so it's vital that our doors are open. And so we do that. Our staff shows up every day to make sure our doors are open. We serve 1,000 meals a day plus every single day. That's a nice, warm, nutritious meal. Donors provide that. Donors provide our food, coffee, something hot to drink. You know, donors provide that. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved at Wheeler to make sure we can get through winter, or to work at Wheeler. We need staff, and so we're always looking for staff to get us through the winter time. We spread ourselves thin during winter, making sure that anybody can find space, and so we have bed capacities. For sure, but we go beyond that every winter to make sure that the city has an option for people who are experiencing homelessness in the dead of winter.
Schools out there that are watching this program, with our reach. Maybe they want to do a sock drive, or they want to do a sweatshirt drive. They can contact our office at IndianaSRN, or they can contact you. Where's a contact, or who would be a contact that maybe we want to do a sock drive? I think that would be a great idea for SRN to start one of those sock drives. How would that? What does that look like?
Yeah, so if you go to wheelermission.org, we have our needs lists that are right there on our website. Those change sometimes in the winter, but there are some needs that are pretty much continual when it comes to hygiene items, when it comes to warm items to get us through the winter. So when you're talking about coats, especially bigger sizes for people that come through, we want to make sure a lot of people that come to our mission, they come with the clothes on their back, right? And so we need to make sure they have something to wear during their stay with us, and which could be for a few weeks, could be for a couple months. And so go to our website, wheelermission.org. You can donate directly there, whether it's a financial donation, or you can look at our needs list. You can even find drop-off locations. You could drop it off at some of the barns that we have around the city, or come right down to Wheeler Mission, drop it off right there. But we need this community's support. So greatest thing about Indianapolis is it is a generous community.
Yes.
It is a community that steps up when there's a need. And there's 1,700 homeless individuals in our community. That number has risen 5% just over the last year. Wheeler Mission is the main place for those individuals to go, has been since 1893, over 130 years. And so support that ministry so that those doors can be open, making sure that every man, woman, and child that needs to come inside can come inside and not only get warm, but get nutritious meals, food, shelter, and care. And so beyond that, we take them through a whole journey of program to make sure that they come out our back door different people. But the first things first, right? Get them fed and get them warm and get them safe.
Since it's basketball season and we cover over 300 games a year on IndianaSRN, we challenge our basketball teams and our basketball programs to get involved. There are meals that need to be served. Tell our teams out there how they can help and serve meals.
Yeah, no better way to really open your eyes to the community's needs than to stand in front of people who are desperately in need and hand them a meal, hand them what they're asking for that day. So great group opportunity is to volunteer at Wheeler Mission. You can go to wheelervolunteer.org. You can sign up a group. It can take an hour and a half to come down and serve a lunch. You can get 12, 15 people involved in that, a dinner, come down either at our men's shelter or our women's shelter. It's a really cool experience for teams, not only to help in a way that you're making a difference, but to see the people that you're helping, right? To hand a meal to someone and smile and say hi to someone literally in their darkest moment, right? So
best assist they can ever make.
Oh yeah,
is to serve a meal.
That's a good point. It's a slam dunk.
It's a slam dunk, exactly. For IndianaSRN, this is Keith Myers.
Welcome back here to Manchester University. Want to get you caught up on some of the scores. Latest score we had from Mount St. Joe and Anderson. It's Mount St. Joseph leading 28-0, and Hanover now leading Rose-Hulman 16-6. Those are the only two other games in the conference this week. College football weekend got started early this week, but we want to move to yesterday out of the Big Ten, where Northwestern beat Maryland 37-10, and then last night, Arizona State moved to 5-1. They beat number 16 Utah 27-19. Coming up, in fact, we got a lot of big games coming up. We'll get to those in a moment. Right now, Iowa leading Washington 37-10. Alabama now leading South Carolina 20-19. About 2 minutes remaining in that one. Clemson all over Wake Forest 49-14. Missouri is beating Massachusetts 45-3. And this makes John Lester happy. Army beating Alabama Birmingham 44-10. I like how you like Army. Wisconsin now leading Rutgers 35-7. Buffalo on top of Toledo 30-15. Ball State going to get a win today. They're winning at Kent State 30-21 late in the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech is leading North Carolina 34-24 in the fourth. In the second, Miami of Ohio on top of Eastern Michigan out of the MAC 14-7. Coming up at 3:30, about 20 minutes, the opening of Texas and Oklahoma. It's number 1 against number 18. They're playing in Dallas. A little bit later as well, Penn State will play USC. Notre Dame is hosting Stanford. Pittsburgh home against California. Purdue will be on the road at Illinois. That's a 3:30 kickoff time. Also coming up later today, of course, the game we'll have an eye on. In fact, just about everybody will keep an eye on will be Ohio State and Oregon. And my broadcast partner is claiming that that team, well, I had to say it because it's part of the schedule, but that team over there across the border on the east side of us, you think they're going to win big?
I do. Oregon, it's going to take those Pac-12 teams that came over, Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA, it's going to take them a year to get accustomed to big, totally different football than they play in the Pac-12, and I think that they're going to get a dose of that tonight against Ohio State.
I was watching the Pat McAfee show a little bit yesterday, and they were talking with the head coach there at Oregon, and that's a program that players like to play for because they have the facilities. Look at the environment around you in that stadium and all that. So they might, I don't know. I hope you're wrong because I do not like that team over there across the border on that side. Yeah, Nike, of course, with the Oregon and everything, but that's a great program. It'll be fun to watch.
Well, they're not my most favorite college football program in the world either, but I'm just going by. But that other game you were talking about, Penn State USC, is a serious upset alert game in this week.
Okay. Number 4, Penn State. I'm sure they're not glad to hear that you think they're going to get upset, but Manchester's going to get the football to begin the third quarter. The Spartans, and it was just 3 points in the first half. They had a chance late to get maybe another 3. They missed the field goal. I'm sure that's a little bit dejecting, but now they get a chance, and let's see if Santiago can continue to drive them down the field.
I like what I've seen out of Santiago. He made a couple of ill-timed passes there in the first half, but for the most part, I like what I've seen out of this kid here in the first half.
So the Beavers will kick off the football. Be a short kick once again toward the sideline and a fair catch. And Manchester is going to have very good field position here.
Kind of surprised to see these short kickoffs for Bluffton here. They've been going with this all game. I'm kind of surprised to see them doing that instead of kicking deep, giving Manchester pretty good field position here.
Officially put it back at the 38-yard line. Andrew Romero got the start today for Manchester after 2 series. He was pulled, and Santiago's been the quarterback since. You see Wadlington, who started the game, didn't see a whole lot of action for about a quarter and a half, and Hovey and Lewis got most of the carries. Santiago, quick screen pass to the outside, and boy, he got nailed from behind.
That was a hit there. On first down there. Arm falls harmlessly incomplete.
James Thomas is probably feeling that in the lower back.
He will definitely feel it in the morning, I guarantee you.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, and what hurts that for Manchester is if you're going to throw that little swing pass to the outside, those blockers better get those guys out of there.
Better, yeah, because Bluffton it seemed like a step or two ahead all first half there, and that was an example right there as well.
2nd down and 10. Santiago again out of the shotgun, takes the low snap. Has time. Now he will tuck it under and run. He's going to get a couple out of this one, but he at least got something positive.
Build on saw there was nothing downfield once again, so just got what he could, and you're going to be looking at 3rd and 8 or so here on the opening series.
One thing the Spartans, again, can't do is take a lot of time on the clock trying to get the play in. Maybe they talked about that a little bit at halftime, but they will end up running nearly the entire 40 seconds.
That was a lot of that 8-minute drive that we saw in the second quarter that built up their time of possession with the slow from the sideline.
Football at the 41, 3rd and long. Santiago to throw, pumps, flushed out of the pocket. He is going to get the first down. Got a nice block right there and will go out of bounds on the near sideline.
Great job there by Santiago. Saw he had a lot of green in front of him and picks up 17 yards there.
Watch this block that he gets. It will get him a couple of extra yards, too.
Yeah, great job there, getting the help from his offensive line this time and putting Manchester on Bluffton's side of the field here.
So a first down run at the 42-yard line. Bluffton right now have to find a way to contain the quarterback, Santiago. They seem, again, the rush gets upfield so quickly that it leaves him plenty of time to run the football. They'll blitz from the outside, and the blitz works this time. Nowhere to go.
Bring in the blitz that time, and Manchester had no answer for that. Couldn't solve it that time. And a loss on first down.
So it's going to be second down after the loss of 2, so we'll call it second down and 12. You know, this is the inconsistency that you see in Manchester. Again, you positive, and then all of a sudden negative, or a big negative, and that's why they haven't won a game this year.
Just inconsistency, yeah, just shooting themselves in the foot with these mistakes.
Santiago will put Hovey in motion. Santiago throws to the sideline and a little bit too high for the intended receiver, and it's incomplete.
That looked like it was odd coming out of his hand. I don't know if Santiago lost that while he was throwing it, but that would just look strange coming off his hand right there.
Pass intended for Levi Campbell. Take another look at it. Campbell's wide open here.
Look at it here. I don't know. Yeah, just way overthrown there from Santiago, and now a 3rd and long for Manchester. They have done a little bit better job on the 3rd down. They're now 3 for 9 on 3rd down conversions, but they started 0 for their first 5, I believe.
John, and when you have an open receiver like that, you've got to hit him.
You've got to, especially with the score like it is. But, yeah, those are passes you just cannot miss there if you're Santiago.
Bluffton showing blitz, and they're going to pull back, 3-man rush. Santiago on the run. Airs it out at the last moment and threw it to one of the coaches there for Bluffton.
So 4th down here. The question is now, will Coach Hunt roll the dice and keep his offense out there? Doesn't look like it.
Pass was intended for Duriel Moss, who's been relatively quiet today. So the punting unit is on. And the first possession for the Spartans here in the 3rd quarter comes up empty. They're one player short on special teams. Campbell back on. Taking a while to get this one by the wind, starting to pick up a little bit today as well. And before they can, looks like we're going to have a delay of game here on Manchester.
Looks like taking the delay of game there, giving their punter a little bit more room.
Offense, number 83, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
You know, the punter gets the penalty, doesn't he? It doesn't seem quite fair, does it?
That does not seem, no, that's not
it's
right
like,
at all.
I didn't have anything to do with that. But he's in the scorebook now. So, but he's been punting the football, so he's still in it. So.
Trying to pin Bluffton back here as far as they can.
Boy, Bluffton has everybody coming, don't they? Held up at the right time. This one will sail into the end zone for the touchback. So good effort, and Manchester will have the football. I should say Bluffton will have the football 1st and 10. Today's game brought to you in part by Officially Human. Our mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the field and the court. Do your part by practicing good sportsmanship. If we don't have officials, we will not play.
Now with the score 28-3, Bluffton's first possession here in the second half. They have about 2 to 1 passing yards to rushing yards. But with the score like it is, are we going to see them with a little bit more of a rushing attack now to try to wind this clock down?
Stoner is in. Evan Unruh back in at quarterback once again. Stoner gets the call over the right side, puts his head down, takes a hit. I think I'm like you. I'm going to run the ball as much as I can, and until you stop me, might as well keep doing it.
The clock is your friend at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Say a gain of 4 on that last play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Unruh will hand it off to Stoner. First down carry and more across the 40, midfield, and into Manchester territory. Great run by Stoner.
So just like that, Bluffton finds an answer on the ground of 37 yards here to Stoner and driving the ball into Manchester territory. As we take a look at it right here, Stoner untouched right there with the missed tackle. It takes 4 Manchester players down there before they finally bring him down at the 40-yard line.
Good blocking up front. Stoner will be rewarded again and the carry for a couple over the right side to the 38.
So we are seeing a big dose of that running game, like I was wondering here to start this drive here for Bluffton in the second half.
Next week, I think you mentioned we have 2 games on Saturday. One of those will be back here at Manchester, and they'll be taking on Franklin. Franklin will be looking for their first conference win next week. And remind me what the other game is going to be. Do you remember?
Defiant, Rose-Hulman, and I think it was Defiance, I believe.
Pass behind the intended receiver. That's going to be Payne.
Pass goes incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
Defiance and Rose-Hulman is our second game next week.
All right. That'll take place over in Terre Haute, correct?
Correct.
And those are both 1:30 start times?
They are 1:30 starts.
All right, so join us again next week. We'll have 2 games of the week. 3rd down and 8. Unruh gives it to Stoner. Stoner ahead to the 34. I'm at the situation now, too. I think I'm going to go for it, right?
You're kind of in that no man's land area in the field. You may as well. Yeah, I don't think you have anything to lose at this point for Bluffton to go for this on 4th down.
So 4th and 4, they'll have to get to the 30.
As you'd be looking at about a 52-yard field goal from this point.
That's not happening.
Yeah, a little long.
Unless we have those
They're
hurricane.
not Justin Tucker.
No, or hurricane winds we had a couple of weeks ago. Unruh to throw, has a man ball caught, touchdown. Nigel Payne got behind the defender. It was one-on-one coverage and a great throw by Unruh.
And Payne gets in the end zone for the 4th time in this game on a pass right on the money from Unruh. And a 4th down conversion for a touchdown, and you get the feeling that Bluffton possibly may have just delivered the knockout punch right here as we take a look at this.
Boy, the defender didn't even really check him close to the line of scrimmage, and it was over. You could have scored on that.
I think I could have.
Man. So the extra point attempt by Drew Michael is up, and it is good. Good start for Bluffton here in the second half. They lead at 35-3.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Today's game brought to you in part by the IndianaSRN sports page, wall-to-wall sports news every day, whether it be high school, college, or pro sports. We have it all. Check it out on IndianaSRN.org. Moss on the return on the short kick. The cutback got him an extra 9 yards.
Nice job there on the cutback, giving Manchester the ball up near midfield here. See if they can answer that last touchdown.
A little bit of smack talking going on there between a couple of players. Zach Rhines for Bluffton and Levi Campbell. I think Rhines turned around and said, look at the scoreboard. Probably be my guess. So it'll be 1st down and 10. Football at the 48-yard line as Santiago back in.
And Payne, with that last reception, I do want to mention, went over the 100-yard receiving mark today.
He's had a big day for sure. Handoff, and it'll be Hovey. Hovey fighting for extra yardage.
Again, able to pick up a couple extra yards with his strength there. We've seen about 3 or 4 times from him this afternoon. Second effort, getting some extra yardage there for Hovey.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9. So only gave him a yard on that. Looked like he had more than that, didn't it?
Oh, he got a bad spot there on that one. Looked like he was up near midfield there.
Coming up on 9 minutes. Santiago trips left. Low snap. Here they come. Santiago gets rid of it and nearly threw another pick 6.
And again, a situation, I don't know that he even saw the defender right there. Fortunate for him, it just falls incomplete.
Travion Curry, his eyes got really big right here.
Look at it right here.
Ooh.
Wow. And you're right, there was nobody around him. That was going to be.
You'd have to have a Ronaldo Nehemiah to catch him at the other end for sure. Stops the clock at 8:54 here in the 3rd quarter. Big 3rd and 9. Here they come on the blitz again. Santiago down the middle of the field has a man. It's going to be caught for the 1st down and more. Great play and a great throw by Santiago.
Great job right on the money here for Santiago, finding his receiver down the field. A strike, driving the ball inside the 15-yard line for Manchester.
So they're going to have it 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. Bluffton leads at 35-3. It'll be 1st down, and the run play brought down after a gain of a yard there by Santiago.
Santiago got taken down there from behind, still able to get a gain of yard out of that. And 2nd and goal for Manchester.
I was going to mention real quick, it was Tyreek Dawes who made that nice reception of 41 yards. So now it's going to be 2nd down and goal.
And again, Manchester getting the calls, taking a lot of time here from the sideline.
Clock under 8 minutes. Football at the 9-yard line and timeout by Santiago. We'll take a timeout as well. Bluffton leads at 35-3.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Back once again here at Manchester. Today's game brought to you in part by Indiana Labor's District Council, the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Labor's District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA. Well, Manchester knocking on the door. Football will be 2nd and goal from the 9 following the timeout. The red zone has only been kind to Manchester once. Handoff. Nope. Fumble of the football and a scramble for it. Let's see who's going to come up with it. Bluffton claims they have it.
Bluffton, I was getting ready to say, Bluffton's saying they have it. I haven't seen an official signal yet.
Got to get everybody off the pile here, and there's a scramble for that football. You see a hand coming out of there pointing toward Bluffton.
Looks like they're keeping it Manchester, looks like.
Well, that would have been a huge turnover there. Take another look at this. Off of the exchange again.
Yeah, just a fumbled exchange right there. And it looks like quarterback able to fall back on the ball.
Manchester will keep the football. How'd you like to be on the bottom of the pile and guys are jumping on top of you?
Well, we were talking about rugby scrums earlier. That was almost a perfect example, one right there.
So it's going to be now 3rd down and goal. Santiago just throws it away.
They may throw a flag on this.
He is claiming there was a receiver here on the near side.
And they are going to throw a grounding flag on this. I don't think he was out of the pocket, I think is where they're getting the grounding on that.
Well, he saw a couple of white jerseys coming on him pretty good.
So now if you spot it at the 22, if you're looking at a field goal from here, it'd be about 40 yards.
Yeah, threes are not going to do any good now. They've got to go for it.
Or actually, no, I'm sorry. It'd be 45 yards from the 27. Yeah, you got to keep the offense out here at this point.
Boy, it's just incredible when you see this. You're at the 9-yard line, and now you're all the way back to the 27. Manchester continues to hurt themselves. They'll look to throw down the middle of the field, and it's going to be picked off. And it's going to be returned out of the end zone as well. Return to the 20, 25, 30, knocked out of bounds on the far side. Marvis McWright there to make the interception.
That will be the 4th turnover of the game for Manchester as we look at it right here. Overshoots his receiver, and nobody there but a defensive player for Bluffton.
So 1st down and 10 now for the Beavers. Well, another red zone. You were in the red zone again. Chance to get 6 on the board, and you come away with nothing.
And this is a situation, you look at the score right here, which I'll get into after this play here.
So a couple of changes already here for the Beavers. They're going to run the football, and that's going to be Coffey, new quarterback in the lineup. Braisley, who you talked about earlier, going to get a chance to come in and direct the Bluffton offense.
And we're talking about the score right here, 35-3, back to what I was mentioning, and you're looking at, and it's basically 4 or 5 plays where Manchester shot themselves in the foot. You could be looking at a different ball game right now.
Well, it is the difference between a winning football program and a program that can't win, and right now that's Manchester. They've struggled for the last several years, and you can see again they just are not playing consistent football, as you see the run there by Coffey for the 1st down, I do believe. Great blocking on this side.
Yeah, you see that blocking right there, giving Coffey all that extra room and already driving the ball into Manchester territory.
Looks like we have a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. 35-3 Bluffton. Bluffton football as Brazeley to throw. The left-hander airs it out and overthrows his intended receiver.
Well, how about that arm there for Brazeley? Unfortunately, overshot his receiver there for about 5 yards, but what an arm right there we saw for Brazeley right there.
Yeah, you got to love those left-handers. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Football placed again at the 47-yard line. Brazeley's going to keep it himself. He's running the wrong way, though. There you go. Cut back, and it will get some positive yardage out of it.
Well, Brazeley ran about 10 yards to pick up about 3 there with the lateral running there. I think that could have been a result in a bigger gain there. It's going to be 3rd down now and 7 or so.
Donovan Brazeley is 6'1", 188 out of Atlanta, Georgia. Played his high school football at Creekside Christian. So 3rd down and 7. I was in Atlanta one time. Yeah.
Me too. Not a pleasant experience.
No?
No.
Handoff over the right side by. You want to tell us about it? That's Coffee on the Run.
I think that's some of the worst traffic I have ever been through in my entire life.
What I've heard, yeah. And of course, I only got to the airport and I flew out. So, yeah, I've heard it's not good. Of course, a lot of those people haven't been up 465 here in Indianapolis lately either on the north side. 35-3, Brazeley to throw. Strong arm to the sideline. He fired a bullet over there. I'm not sure who was going to catch that one.
A little too tall for his receiver there, and the Manchester defense gets a stop here, a 4th down stop, so they're going to have the football back here. So you look at it right here, Brazeley, great arm, just a little too tall here for his receiver.
Yeah, Cummings like, what do you think, I'm 6'9" or what? So we will turn the football back over to Manchester with 4:10 remaining here in the 3rd. Update, Mount St. Joseph leading Anderson 35-0 in the 3rd. Hanover at halftime now leading Rose-Hulman 23-6. So it appears that Mount St. Joseph on their way to a win today will move to 2-0 in the conference and win their 4th game overall. That's Hovey.
Pick up a good 3 yards there on 1st down there.
Bluffton with a win today will move to 2-0 in the conference.
And if this holds, Bluffton and Mount St. Joseph do play next week in Cincinnati. It would be for solo 1st place there.
Manchester goes on to lose this one today. They'll fall to 0-5. And, of course, Franklin coming in next week looking for their first conference win. Coming into today's action, only one team in the conference had a winning record, and that was Mount St. Joseph. See, now, we're going to clarify something right now. We're going to do this now that we heard the name Dante Cheney. On our roster, they have listed as Santiago as number 12, and they have Cheney listed as number 5. And that was on their depth chart, and it's on their roster. So if you were wondering why we were calling Cheney Santiago, that's why. We were going by the numbers that Manchester provided for us.
By the rosters that we were given, yes.
So Cheney is actually the quarterback, and Cheney will throw now, and it's going to be caught underneath and dropped at the 45. All we ever ask from the programs is just give us the correct information for our broadcast. We don't know. We're not at Manchester every week. We're not at Bluffton every week. So unless you give us accurate information, it's really hard for us to determine who's who. That's my commentary, and I'm sticking with it. And I know that for me and for you and for others that we do these games, I don't think it's too much to ask to keep the stuff accurate, right? If you're going to change a number, you need to let us know. 148 remaining. Cheney throws deep. Has a man. Ball caught down to the 5-yard line. Levi Campbell. Great catch.
And again, we see that arm right on target. A little overthrown there by Campbell, but able to dive and get a 1st and goal here for Manchester as we look at it again here. Rolling out to his right and sees his man down the field. A little overthrown, but a great adjustment there for a 1st down. And 1st and goal to go for Manchester. See if they can finish this off.
Do you see Campbell make that little stutter move and then take off on the defensive back? And that's pretty much what they're going to have to do to open up space.
Had he not had to stretch out for that, I think he got tripped up by the turf there. That was probably going to be 6 right there.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line, and they'll get it down to perhaps the 1. Look like it's going to be Wadlington on the carry.
Haven't called his name very much today.
And he's going to come out of the lineup. Clock continues to tick here in the 3rd. Manchester trying to get their first touchdown of the day. Boy, and they still take a lot of time off the clock getting a play in.
Surprised to see this. They're still taking this much time.
Hovey the setback. 2nd and goal from the 2. Cheney over the middle, touchdown pass, and it'll be Abdul Amir making the reception for the score.
Well, Manchester able to get in the end zone for the first time on a finish right there from Cheney to Abdul Amir. And let's see if we see Manchester go for 2 here. As we take a look at this touchdown pass from Cheney to Abdul Amir, right on the money. That's a nice little momentum booster there, a nice little confidence builder right there, being able to get in the end zone there for Manchester.
Exactly, and I think for Cheney, he's probably solidified himself as the starter for next week. The extra point attempt is on the way, and it is good. Bluffton leads it 35-10.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Today's game brought to you in part by Family Source Insurance. Pat Cherry is your independent agent representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Call him for coverage at 317-894-7000. So Manchester gets on the scoreboard. They came in averaging 8.3, so they have now surpassed the 8 points per game.
And Cheney, since we've on him in relief, approaching the 200-yard passing mark now in this game.
Huge plus. Ball dropped inside the 15-yard line. And how about the return here? And all the way out to cross the 45 thanks to Kobe Coffey.
Wow, Coffey muffing the kickoff there and still able to get 30-plus on the kickoff return there.
You know, so many times that happens when the kickoff team sees the ball drop and they kind of hold up for some reason. And they're kind of slow getting to the football here.
And 4, you see, just slipped and missed the tackle there, and Coffey takes advantage. Great starting field position for Bluffton.
The good news is the kicker was still back there someplace.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, football at the 46-yard line. Brazeley will stay in. And it'll be Stoner on the carry. Takes an immediate hit and goes down. No gain on the play.
Great job there by the Manchester defense. against Stoner there on first down as it's going to wrap it up for the third here.
We will head to the fourth. Bluffton leads at 35-10.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Are you an active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
35-10, ready for the final period of play, barring an overtime here this afternoon. Get you update on some of the scores here in just a couple of moments. We mentioned that Brazeley in for Unruh, who is probably done for the day. Quick pass to the outside and dropped shy of the 50-yard line. That'll be Colors on the reception. Right now, Mount St. Joe is leading Anderson 42-0. And now Hanover all over Rose-Hulman 30-9.
Third down, 7 for Bluffton.
So it'll be 3rd down and 7. We'll also update you on other scores in college football this afternoon. Texas and Oklahoma now underway. This one aired out, nearly intercepted. Great play by Maury Mayfield.
I think Mayfield maybe wishing he had that back. It looked like he had the interception in his hand, just unable to come down with it. With 4th down, Manchester is going to force a Bluffton punt here.
Miami, Ohio now leading Eastern Michigan 21-7. That Texas-Oklahoma game is underway, as is Penn State and USC. And John Lester, by the way, did I see a flag?
Wait, there was. Roughing the passer, yes.
Oh, that'll do it. Notre Dame is underway. John Lester said USC and Penn State. He smells upset in that one.
And let me clear, even though I said in the same sentence that those former Pac-12 teams are going to have to adjust the Big Ten, but you got Penn State going out east to west there, and it just has that upset feel to me.
All right. Find out if that comes to fruition after the penalty. Stoner on the carry. Purdue and Illinois, no score with 7 minutes remaining in the first. That is a win already for the Boilermakers. They're still in it in the first quarter. Northern Illinois, Bowling Green delayed. Must be a weather situation there. My Wyoming Cowboys are playing San Diego State. It's scoreless. I wonder if the quarterback that played at Cathedral, who is now the starting quarterback at San Diego State, how he likes being 7,000 feet high, playing in Laramie. Handoff Stoner. Stoner will be well shy of the first down to about the 32.
Got to give a shout out to one of my buddies who's a big BYU fan. They're undefeated as well.
Who is a BYU fan? Who is a BYU fan? Yeah, I understand that, but please, when I came from Wyoming, we hated BYU. All right, 35-10 here. The throw and the catch. And did not get the first down. Actually, he went the wrong way.
It looked like he had it originally and then backtracked and is going to be about 2 yards short now. They're going to spot it 4th and 1 here.
I'm going for it.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, if anybody is smart this afternoon, you should be watching the Wyoming game. And we've got a first down by Stoner.
I see Stoner able to finish the job there and getting himself a first down and keeping the clock running and the chains moving here for Bluffton.
Oh, there it is. I found it. I found the Wyoming game, so don't mind me. Well, at least that's what it said. Come on, guys. Don't let me down here. Here we go. All right, it'll be first down and 10. Stoner again on the run, and they're going to continue to run the football. Take a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, the clock definitely your friend right now at this point. 12 minutes to go, a comfortable lead. No reason to abandon the running game at this point.
By the way, that football player is mentioning, for those of you who know about Indiana football, Danny O'Neill originally committed to play at Colorado and then switched it to San Diego State and is starting. Brazeley to throw, gets rid of it in time, but I think the pass is out of bounds. Stopping the clock at 11:37.
A little too far to the side there. The receiver unable to come down with a foot inbound there. And another third down here for Bluffton. 4-down territory, like you said, to say the least, I would think.
I agree. They'll just really, at this stage, you're up by 25. You can waste a lot of time here the rest of the way. But Brazeley will have Stoner in the backfield. Hasn't technology come a long way? Would you ever think that you could watch a football game somewhere else while you're here in Manchester doing this game? Lob to the end zone and a little bit out of the reach of the intended receiver. That is Colors. Can't come up with it.
So now a 4th down situation. Let's see how Bluffton plays this here. As we look at that replay here. A little overthrown there on the throw from Brazeley there.
Stopping the clock at 11:30.
We will see the offense stay out.
They'll have to get to the 15 for the first down. Brazeley to throw to the sideline. They'll get the first down and trying to get more, but he got forward progress on the reception. Colors again for the Beavers.
And great job there, Brazeley, Colors, knowing right where that first down marker was. As you look at it right here, Brazeley finding his open man. A yard past the sticks and keeping the chains going and keeping the drive alive for Bluffton.
You'd have two teams undefeated. If Bluffton just continues to win today, they'll both be 2-0. Mount St. Joe's going to win today easily at Anderson. Stoner, nice spin to avoid the big loss.
Able to somehow get back to the line of scrimmage out of that. Stoner looked like they were going to be for sure a 2 or 3 yard loss in the backfield.
Want to remind you today's game brought to you in part by Aspen Creek Grill. Delicious food, excellent service. If you're looking for some amazing fresh food this weekend out celebrating, make sure you check out Aspen Creek Grill in Noblesville. 35-10 your score. Trips to the near side. Brazeley to throw. Sets, fires, near side, and that was almost picked off.
That was going to be a pick six, too, if that was going to be an interception, because there was nobody ahead.
We have seen more almost pick sixes today than I've seen in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Wow, that was... You see the frustration right there. Not able to come up with that interception.
3rd down. Coming up on 10 minutes remaining. Stoner in the backfield. Brazeley to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. Downfield toward the end zone and behind his intended receiver, Stoner. And if he is able to reach that football, you should catch it with those gloves.
Yeah, Stoner just unable to get that one right off his fingertips. It looked like still a catchable ball, though. And now 4th down. So I may bring the field goal team on here.
And they will do just that. Drew Michael. This will be from just outside the 20. We'll put it at the 21. So if my math is correct, a 31-yard attempt. And now Stoner looking to the sideline. He might have an issue with his shoe. And so they have to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout. Bluffton on top, 35-10.
Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Well, after the timeout, I am pretty sure that Drew Michael's shoe was untied. And so, yeah, get a good look at it right there. Those are the long laces on the kicking foot, but it was his other foot that he didn't have tied. So here we go, the field goal attempt again from 31. Boy, a long time getting this snap off. Behind the holder, the kick is on the way, and the kick is no good. We have a flag down, though.
Did they get the kicker here, I wonder?
That's a really good question.
Looking at the ball, so I wasn't looking at the play.
After the play, personal foul, Manchester, number 13.
Oh.
Throwing a punch. Number 13 is disqualified for the rest of the game.
That is not good.
We got disqualification here.
And if I'm not mistaken, he will not be able to play in the next game either. Threw a punch at another player. I know you can be a little bit frustrated. Was that to Jalen Grimes?
I'm thinking they're going to, Jalen Grimes is who I'm thinking they got there.
And that was the defensive player of the week last week.
Frustration's starting to set in, but you've got to control your emotions in this game. You cannot do something like that because now you just cost your team.
There he is. And he will be escorted to the locker room. And he is getting an earful, too, by the way.
Yeah, you've got to control your emotions. You just cannot let your emotions get the better of you like it did right there.
Manchester will still have the football. It happened after the play. Maybe, just maybe, Drew Michael should have left that shoe untied. And just go ahead and kick it the way he had it. So it'll be first down and 10. You have a late lineman coming out here for Manchester. Dante Cheney back in at quarterback. Football at the 10-yard line. Handoff up the middle and maybe a yard.
And not much doing there. Bluffton defense right there, swarming the running back for just a 1-yard gain here.
Looked like that may have been Wadlington on the carry. They will give him a yard. If everything pans out today, Mount St. Joe Bluffton both 2-0. Rose-Hulman, Hanover both at 1-1. Manchester Franklin at 0-1, and Anderson will fall to 0-2. Of course, the schedule is a lot different this year because Defiance moved to NAIA, so you're missing one team, which would even out the schedule. Instead of having 7 teams, you'd have 8, and this penalty will move them back 5 yards. I know there's a lot of talk on who they want to try to get to join the conference. But you'd certainly love to have somebody that does have a football program to help that out. And anymore, it's kind of tough these days, that especially at the NAIA or Division III level, it costs so much money to run football programs. So the football moved back to the 6. Handoff, head-on collision right there. Looks like it's going to be Wadlington again. That's some hard hitting right there. One player ended up losing his hat.
Something you were just talking about the football, about it is the biggest revenue boosting sport for college, but it's also the one, as you said, the one that costs the most to put in. And that's where some of these schools are running into their issues at.
Yeah, you look at the equipment that you have to have, and you're talking about if you want to get 80 to 90 to 100 players, that's a lot to forge out.
And the upkeep of the facilities, or just keeping the facilities going.
And especially for smaller Division III schools and such, you don't have the money like Notre Dame or those guys bring in television revenue and such, so you're trying to earn money the hard way. Just go out and earn it from your people that go to school there and others. Short pass inside the 20. The alumni have to be big contributors, but it's also difficult if your football program, and I'm familiar with what happened when I was doing Earlham football, and nobody was coming to the games. You end up losing 70-some in a row, and they end up just dropping football.
That's tough to overcome from those things. It's just hard to just maintain that.
Well, and they tried to get it to come back, and there just wasn't any interest. So they dropped it for now for good. First down and 10. Cheney will put a man in motion. Bluffton, here they come. Cheney gets rid of it. Swing pass to the outside. Ball is dropped. It's going to be picked up. Now we wait and see if it was a completed pass. Abdul Amir took the hard hit. And they will say it was caught and dropped. And the fumble recovery into the end zone for Nolan Hubre, who, by the way, has picked off 2 today and now has a fumble recovery for a score.
Well, they say what constitutes you get the feed down and then make a football move. Here's the catch here. I don't know that I saw a football move there, but nonetheless, they are saying a fumble.
That was a great hit, though. Yeah. That was Zach Rhines who laid on the hit, and Hubre, by the way, having a big day here for Bluffton's defense.
Of course, D3, unlike D1, doesn't have the ability for replay, so you just go with the call on the field there.
Extra point attempt is on the way. It is good. Bluffton leads at 42-10.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Tonight's game brought to you in part, or I should say this afternoon's game brought to you in part by Clean Slate. Find your future in the cloud. They're a technology consulting firm specializing in custom-built modern applications and products that deliver greater agility, faster speed innovation, and the resiliency to handle whatever the future throws your way. Give them a call at 866-885-3249. Well, as we said before, Manchester gets positives and then the negatives come up, and it seems like, again, the negatives just outweigh the positives so much that you maybe feel sometimes you just can't do anything right consistently.
And as you said, when you're a struggling program like Manchester is right now, it just seems like there's just one thing over and over that just keeps happening. And
short kick once again, and the return across the 40. Great effort out to the 45. A few of the fans still hanging around here at Manchester to. Of course, it's a beautiful day. We got to enjoy it while we can, because the last time I checked, today is October the 12th, and that means in a little over a month it's Thanksgiving, and then a little over 2 months we're in Christmas time, and it'll be cold and snowy.
We're going to talk about snow.
Yeah.
That's
And Nick Lewis, our producer, just informed us the first frost is coming up this week. So you better get your plants in there, John Lester. I know you're a big plant guy.
You know it.
Football at the 45-yard line.
My green thumb faded a long time ago.
No, you don't. They all died. I mean, yeah. We got another whistle, and what do we have here? Another delay of game on Manchester. See, I take care of the plants at my house because if I let my wife do it, they would all be dead. She loves plants, but she forgets one important ingredient. What do you think that is?
Water?
Watering them, yes. That's the key. So I take care of that. I'm just kind of the housekeeper, if anybody wants to know. Yo, I do the dishes. I do everything. It's just, and she gives me money. All right, it'll be first down and 15, and Dante is on the run, and I think he got it completed on the sideline, but between 2 or 3 defenders. A lot of bodies piled up over there.
He's getting a little physical out there.
Yeah, it is. Paradis makes the reception.
Despite the score right now with a 42-10, I think if you're Coach Hunt of Manchester, you have to like what you've seen a little bit from your offense here in the second half. And then going back into that second quarter, they've started to show some signs about this is about the best we've seen the offense so far this year. So if they can get this gelled out, you may see this team pull about 2 or 3 games out here.
What I find interesting at second down and 12 is when the 2 deep was sent to us this week, Dante Cheney's name was not on it. And that's what I find interesting. Cheney to throw. Ball caught to the near side and out of bounds. Abdul Amir on the reception. So unless Manchester was like, you know what, maybe something happened to Cheney where they didn't want to start him, but they're going to put him in. But you can tell right now between Andrew Romero and Cheney. Cheney's the guy.
Cheney,
I got to go with him.
I agree with you, yes. Going forward, from what I've seen today, Cheney, yes, has to be your man going forward, I would think.
Well, and he has the most experience back from last year, and that's why we were kind of confused why we didn't see him on the depth chart at all, and then the confusion on whether it was him or Santiago changing numbers. Cheney on the run. He's going to get dropped on this one, though.
Again, dangerous there, how he was holding that ball.
Perry gets the stop. Nick Perry, one of those linebackers there for the Beavers. And it'll be 4th down and 4. Well, we make the trip back here again next week, as it'll be Franklin, and they're going to be hungry for a win. They really, a football team I thought played pretty well the last time we had the Franklin Grizzlies. Maybe the best they played in a while, but they've got some work to do. And you see it right there next week. It'll be on HCAC TV. The punt now by Manchester. Fair catch will be caught inside the 15-yard line. Want to thank our great sponsors of Wheeler Mission for over 131 years, which was about the time that Keith Myers was born. Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. The Drumstick Dash is coming up next month. It'll be on Thanksgiving Day. It's a great fundraiser for Wheeler Mission, so we'd love everybody to take part in that. They have the walk and the run. And if you'd like to have more information, you can go to the Wheeler Mission website. And also, if you'd like to maybe volunteer for the many great things they do, give them a call at 317-686-6239.
Couple updates from the other HCAC games. Now Mount St. Joseph now 49-0 over Anderson. And Hanover has added another touchdown, 37-9 over Rose-Hulman.
Well, that Hanover team at home is tough. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Beaver's going to keep it on the ground. Not much here to the 19.
Bluffton going to be very, very content to just keep the ball on the ground here, run out these last 3:45, and head back to Bluffton at 2-0 in conference play.
That's a long road trip, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Even though you're on those nice buses, it still is a long road trip. I did that in baseball for a couple of years. I hated it after a while. That bus just didn't agree with me. Boy, the swing pass and dumped immediately. Nothing there for Bluffton. I can't sleep on a bus, can you?
No, I can't.
No. I can't sleep anywhere unless it's in my bed. I can't sleep in a hotel, plane, nothing. Looks like we have a timeout right here with 3:15 remaining. By the way, if we have any updates on some of those other college scores, you can pass those along. I can't turn off watching the Wyoming Cowboys play. And one of these days I'm going to walk in here with my Cowboy stuff on. What do you think? I usually have my Michigan stuff on, but I went to Wyoming. I have no eligibility
We do have
left, no.
Illinois has grabbed a 10-0 lead over Purdue.
Are you
That's
sure?
at the end of the first quarter. USC has a 7-3 lead over Penn State.
Uh-oh. Look at John Lester. He's beaming.
And Stanford and Notre Dame 7-7 after one.
Ah. How about that Texas-Oklahoma game?
That is 0-0.
Okay.
Still 4 minutes to go in the first quarter.
My daughter lives in, anybody cares, she lives in Austin.
Oh.
Yeah, so I do have some Texas stuff, but after they beat Michigan, I threw it away. So.
I think that's one of the best right down Cotton Bowl in Dallas every year. Oklahoma, Texas, one of the best college football atmospheres, I think, every year.
I agree. Yep. Be fun to attend that, huh? Boy, this kick will go out of bounds here on the near side. I have been to the Texas Stadium, and it is huge. Beautiful stadium. But down in Austin, it's always hot down there.
Yes.
So you're waiting for November to get here so to cool off. But being number one, I mean, Sarkisian's done a nice job.
I just don't see them staying number. The SEC play is tough, and I just don't see them being able to sustain this. But we'll see what happens.
It's a little different than the Big 12,
yeah.
huh? Which used to be the Big 8. And then like every conference, we're up to 20. And they stay with the same name. Yeah, that bugs me, John Lester. All right, first down. Football at the 49-yard line. Chaney to drop, and he's going to get sacked back at the 40.
That's about the only thing the Bluffton defense hasn't had tonight is a sack until now. They get to Chaney right there.
Number 12, Dante Chaney is brought down in the backfield by number 94.
They're talking about college football. The one that's hard for me is seeing Cal and Stanford in the ACC.
Yeah, that makes no sense, does it? It's the Atlantic Coast Conference, and yet you're on the Pacific Coast. It's no wonder young people are growing up just completely confused about all this. You know?
Confused about,
Nick Lewis made a good point. Nobody passed geography class. Well, wait a minute. I thought they were over here, and next thing you know, they're somewhere else. Swing pass, Moss. Moss takes the hit across the 45 near the 46. It is the landscape of college athletics, though, that people are worried about because you only have these shifting of teams and conferences basically stealing other teams, and then teams like in the MAC and the Midwest Conference, they all get pushed out. They're not in the top 5 or the Power 5, so they really don't even get a chance to participate. And then you have the NIL deals, and everybody's got to pay money, and you notice that Tennessee charging more for tickets so they can pay the players. It's just, to me, my feeling is gotten out of hand.
My fear going forward is it's going to be – you're going to see events like NCAA tournament, NCAA basketball tournament be basically a Power 4 tournament, and I don't like because I'm afraid it's going to leave the mid-majors out as basically also-rans, and that's my fear. I hope I'm wrong, but that is my fear going forward.
Well, it's heading there. Yeah. Well, and again, when you look at some of those programs, like you're talking the mid-majors, then you might as well have another division.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're going to call it because you already have what they used to call it a subdivision, which is now the, FCS?
FCS, yes.
But it's just going to get to the point where some of these programs are not going to be able to compete with the big Power Fives. The Pac-12, boy, did they get raided. Dante will scramble. Cheney, flag is down. It's going to be a hold. Cheney running for his life and finally gets rid of it. But the Pac-12 now is trying to. They get some teams out of the Mountain West.
Now they're supposedly headed after Memphis, Tulane. There's a couple other teams in there that they're trying to.
Yeah, Boise State.
I think did they join already?
I think that. Anyway, there's the penalty decline. It'll be 4th down.
Gonzaga now a part of the Pac-12 for basketball. They don't have a football team, but they will be there for basketball going forward.
Yeah. I have absolutely no idea after a while where everybody is.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see. And, of course, then you have the transfer portal with players now that don't get playing time, will quit in the middle of the season and sit it out and then enter the portal when that's available, which to me doesn't really do good for the player. If you're not getting playing time, my thought process maybe you ought to get better.
Yeah, that's right.
And here's the other thing. How are you staying academically eligible if you're jumping out? And I'm assuming you're staying in school, right? You're not playing football. Your scholarship's going to get taken away, I'm sure, because you've decided to quit. So how are you paying for school and staying in class?
My thing with this NIL is if there are certain players getting paid, have them pay their own scholarship. Pull their scholarship, have them pay their own way. Give the scholarship to someone that actually is in need of the scholarship that's there for academics.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, I agree with you. Bluffton will get it back with 1:40 to go. They're going to keep it on the ground once again and try to run out the remainder of this clock. Well, I've said it before, and Nick knows it, you know it, that one day when I become Supreme Emperor of the entire universe, I'll change these things for you, John Lester.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, anytime. And one thing that will happen is your planes won't be flying over my house as much.
That hasn't contributed to your plants getting damaged, has it?
Well, it could be chemtrails from your jets. But that's another subject. Coming up on 60 seconds. Bluffton will have to run it a couple of more times, and that'll be it. In fact, they got a first down on the carry out to the 35. I want to remind you we have 2 games next week. As we mentioned earlier, we'll be back here at Manchester. That's a 1:30 kickoff time.
And that battle for the 2 last undefeated teams is next week as well between Bluffton and Mount St. Joseph.
And that's in Cincinnati, right?
In Cincinnati, yes.
So that'll be one we'll keep abreast next week. Keep an eye on that one throughout the entire afternoon. And should be the final play of this game here. Well, the one thing about it, you don't want to lose yardage if you don't have to, but you're going to run out the clock, and that's going to do it. Well, overall, John Lester, Bluffton came in. Early mistakes made by Manchester cost them some points. They got in a big hole, but we saw some positives by Manchester with Dante Cheney running the offense, so now if they can find a way to put things together, they'll be more competitive next week.
The second half Manchester we saw on the offensive side going forward is what they're going to need to be a factor here in the HCAC. But if we saw Bluffton the way they had that first half, they're going to be a factor for this HCAC race as well. So this is going to be an interesting race going forward here as the season goes along.
Well, and they will have to play much better next week at Mount St. Joe because they are right now the best team in the conference. Hey, want to thank our sponsors today being a part of our broadcast. They include Reynolds Farm Equipment, Passion to Care, Boilermaker Local 374, Wheeler Mission, Bertner Electric, the Morales Group, McGinley Wrights Financial, Indiana Labor's District Council, and the Indiana SRN Sports Page. For John Lester, Nick Lewis, and Chuck Levine, thanks for being with us. We'll see you next week right here on HCAC TV.